So, this is going to be a VoD review of T1 versus HLE from when I'm recording this earlier today. So this is very fresh. We just watched T1 versus DK. So we have a bit of a benchmark for how this team was playing in recent series as well, where they were actually pushed, even though it was a 2-0. It did feel like there were some aspects of the game which we've highlighted in VoD reviews before. I felt like they weren't doing as well on that. So in terms of like getting real control over winning lane, well, bluntly, you know, winning lane, and then also getting vision control off of those winning lanes as well. So I said this as well in the other VoD review at the start of that too. You know, I am doing a lot of T1 VoD reviews, and the reason I'm doing that, and you know, not always other teams, I am doing VoD reviews for other teams. The reason why I've done more T1 VoD reviews is because it has felt like they've been the best team in the world in Spring for the majority of it. Now, will that stay that way? We don't know. It's kind of important to track that. And also, bluntly, because they get 10 times more views than any other VoD reviews that I do, and people tend to like them. You know, I would consider myself a fan of T1 in some ways. I'm a fan of many teams, but I've been following T1 since, you know, 2014. So I've got a lot of kind of history with them. I watched them at All-Stars 2014, and then I, you know, kind of, well, in fact, actually, the reason I got into League is because I saw Faker playing Ari at Season 3 Worlds. So yeah, there are good reasons for me to do this stuff. If you would like to see me do other VoD reviews as well, leave it in the comments. If you enjoyed this as well, just, you know, well, if you don't enjoy it as well, you know, let me know, but politely. Prefer there not to be like slurs and shit in there. But okay, so this is going to be T1 versus HLE, so we finally get around on topic. And this was a series which T1 lost. Now, I only saw this kind of on a second screen because I was watching LPL earlier today. So this is going to be not like a completely fresh look at this for me, but one which is still kind of pretty uninformed. So I'm looking to see what I can think of with this. So Azir is still global banned. That's important. Fake was a big picker of that. And we'll have to see. I believe this is a 3-game series, and I don't exactly know how all of this comes through. And this is an important shift for T1. This is a really important shift. So this is a laning phase ban. Obviously, like, the Senna is really good in laning phase for Guma and Keria as well. And they pick up the Kalista early. They pick up the Kalista without a lot of the big initiating picks on the other side. I think particularly with these junglers, it allows HLE to play through Peanut kind of like being the shot caller and being kind of like front to back player and playing a tank from the jungle. He has Rel left. I mean, I would imagine Rel's going to be quite valuable. But in this game, as opposed to other ones like against GENG and against some other teams as well, they're not picking the Lucian Nami when it's been banned. So it's going to be Kalista locked in. So HLE, they see the Kalista first pick. Now, they have a chance of maybe going towards Lucian themselves. They want to have some early game pressure. There's also the Varus as well. So Varus has typically done quite well against Kalista because as Kalista tries to hop around, you land the E, the slows Kalista's attack speed as well as her like movement speed as well, because of the way her auto attacks work in terms of mobility as well. And they do lock in the Rel. So the Rel, as we said, is kind of the last initiating jungler that Peanut could kind of have that. And now it is a flex, and there's a chance it goes down to Delight as well, but we'll see exactly where that goes on that point. And this has been Zeus' blind pick towards the top side in the Aatrox. I wouldn't have surprised me to see that be locked in. When you see Varus and Kalista, you kind of know that there's going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of 3v3 bot side pressure. You know that. No, Kalista and Varus, they're going to chunk each other out a lot. They're going to fight a lot. Now, this is going to be a really interesting thing here too, because typically T1 have tried to find their powerful blind picks to allow like winning lanes. T1 with winning lanes is the best team in the world. What we've seen though from GENG, and even from the series versus D+, they're not getting winning lanes all the time now. I think other teams are starting to warm up to the blind picks which T1 have, whether that's the Lucian. And in this case, because they're locking the Jace into the Aatrox as well, it's a very skill-intensive matchup, but Doran has actually gotten a leg over on Zeus in quite a lot of series before, even though Zeus, on the whole, has been the best laning top laner in the world for the last few years. Giving Doran counterpick against the Aatrox with this Jace is really quite important, though. Yeah, I do think that the Azir going away, it does mean that I wonder if the Azir global ban affects T1 in the way that they blind pick. Because they were very happy to blind pick the Azir when it was available. You could even first pick it. A lot of teams were first picking it. It just means that things are much harder to kind of play around. Because now what they've had to do is they blind pick their AD carry. They blind pick their top laner as well. Yeah, you will have support counter pick potentially as well. We'll see if Delight actually goes towards that. We're seeing some, we're seeing some support bans come through into the second round anyway. I wouldn't surprise me actually to see even support counter pick, just because it's really important for. I mean, what happens if you lock you could lock if you've got Jace and Rel, you've got pretty strong top side already. If this Rel does go into the jungle, I think you could lock in Ahri for Zekka on 4 here, and that'd be okay. And that means you've got support counter pick for bot side, and then the Ahri is actually quite hard to deal with the blind pick. You've dealt away with the Nico, which is one of the better laning matchups into that champion. You could lock in Annie for Faker here, but if he's playing it right now, I haven't seen him play it just yet, so. I think you go RE4 here. You save support counter pick to make sure that Goomer and Keria don't have themselves an easy winning lane. Oh, it is Delight though. Okay, fair. It's Delight. Okay, alright, no, it is the Ahri. It is the Ahri. I saw the Rakan, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot Delight's actually playing in this game, so. Okay, so they're going to lose the Rakan now, potentially. Okay, so it is going to be the Annie into the Ahri. So that's been the pick that we've seen a lot of mid laners go towards right now. And you can see that in early lane, Annie can stop Ahri from roaming. And stop her from just, pushing the wave for free and going out. I do think that Ahri mid players are not using their runes very well. I think you can trade well against Annie with bone plating for early levels. Look at the Bard, okay. So Kalista Bard, pretty good level 1, level 2 damage. You don't exactly have the easiest hard CC for Kalista to latch onto. Also worth noting as well that, so in one of the previous series we did see Genji play the lethality Kalista as well. Yeah, actually, so no, yeah, that becomes really important now. So you're playing into the Poppy jungle, the Rel's been put down towards bot lane. I think you go for the lethality Kalista now, because it means you don't have to hop around at low auto attack range and have the Poppy then potentially stun you with the steadfast presence. So if you go towards the lethality Kalista with two kind of half tanks on the team, I mean the Rel and the Poppy are kind of half tanks. The other three are actually quite pokeable. It also means that the laning phase of the Varus, who typically likes to play by outranging you, kind of sucks a little bit. It depends how much this is coming out in scrims. Sometimes we see the Varus, when he's kind of playing against other poke champions, goes for the Comet instead of Hail of Blades, because you don't really want to get... because you want to play from range rather than look for your big auto attacks early at that point, because you want to trade poke for poke as best as you possibly can. So Goomer Keria, pretty strong early lane. Delight on the Rel, big engage factor, whereas the engage on T1 is kind of on Faker to get big ults. Wouldn't be surprised now to see some intention into mid lane, to see what happens with the early pushing power of the early trading power of the Annie, which often kind of stops Ahri from doing a lot of stuff. Alright, game 1, let's go. It has been a bit of a long day for me, folks, so if I miss some things, that's why. I've been doing a lot recently, so I know I'm making excuses. Okay, already a good start. Zek is using the Eldwood Ahri skin. It's one of the better skins for Ahri. I have a skin tier list. It's one of my favorite ones. I think that's in my S tier. I think it's not S+, but it's in S tier. I really like Eldwood. It's a really good skin. Really cool sound effects, and it's got some good chromas on it as well. I think that one's the cat's eye chroma. I don't know, it's the orange one, whatever that is. I'm really bad at those. Okay, so early defensive vision from HLE into their own jungle. And T1 don't get any starting wards into the enemy jungle, which is important, actually. That is quite important, because T1 with early jungle wards is, again, very, very strong. It's one of the big things we talked about from early spring about T1, and also how they won worlds as well. They're very, very good at kind of getting information in the enemy jungle and allowing their lanes to play all out, and they never have to play respectfully. They just go for as dominant laning trades as they can. But when they don't know where Peanut is on Poppy, who is a very good jungler at kind of stopping lanes, interrupting lanes from being dominant, and also kind of helps his lanes have information himself. He's kind of Oner and Peanut play a very similar style. And in fact, I think we might have reviewed, yeah, we reviewed the last time these teams met, actually, and we kind of talked about the the battle warding. And Peanut is such a famous Poppy player. He's been doing this for years. He hits like... And Oner's Lee Sin. Yeah, both these junglers on very iconic champions for them, thinking about it. You're a fan of Spirit Blossom with the Ariversary Chroma? That's great. Yeah, that's a good one too. I like Spirit Blossom. Spirit Blossom's like in top tier as well. That's actually an S+ tier skin. It's a very good one. My favorite one used to be Foxfire Ari. It was my first skin I ever bought in the game. But then they changed it with the visual remake and I don't like it as much. Ooh, okay. Trying to get a trade while Bard is out. I'll stop talking about Ari skins now and I'll actually talk about the game because it's much more important. So, worth noting, this is going to be on hit cluster. Or like, yeah, it's going to be on hit cluster, not the lethality. And then it's lethality Varus as well. So, there are no true tanks in this game. You have ones which get close, like the Poppy, which can get tankier later, but it's not really like top lane Poppy where you get just really obscenely tanky. So lethality on the Varus, when you have lockdown, you have 3 lockdown sources, means that Varus is really good at following up on a lot of different plays. Guma has to play very carefully into, you know, Rel's active range. If Rel engages and Guma's not caught in it, then yes, the Rel dies for free. Also need to be very careful into the Poppy as well. So I really need to see how Guma plays around that. So flash for... Ooh, shit. Flash for cleanse. But no real big trade back on the other side. So early laning phase going in terms of priority to HLE. Peanut's going to walk in. Can they get more than this? They don't have cleanse now. Guma needs to position away from a wall, which he doesn't. He's flipped back into it. Yeah, he doesn't position well enough to get away from the stun. It's hard. And this is actually a mistake. Hang on, what happens here? So, hang on a second. Hang on. So what's happening here? Before the play happens, Bard, so Keria goes up into bot river, uses the blast cone to find Poppy. While he's in river, that's when the all-in comes in from bot lane, because they know that Bard is out of lane because they see the vision plan going. That's why this happens right now. Now, the problem is here is... there's a ward on bot scuttle, and you know that Poppy's on the bot side of the map. You know that a dive is coming. So you have 2 options. You either get a defensive teleport from Faker or Zeus. You can do that for early dives as long as your wave's in the right space. So what I want to see what Faker's doing in terms of like crashing his wave right now, because what he could do is clear a wave, recall, and then be in position to dive. But then the other thing as well is that no one is covering this dive. I mean, also Oner had chance to go towards bot side as well. He was clearing his wolves. I think if he went from wolves to bot side, is he there in time? When does he see this? So if he paths right now, because you have cleanse, heal, and flash, I think at that point it can actually go beyond the tower. You can like fall back from the tower, and I think Lee Sin gets there in time. So I think this is a collective failure of T1 to respond to the information of Peanut being on the bot side of the map and cleanse being down from Guma. As soon as your cleanse is down, you can't like cleanse flash out. It's level 4 Poppy, like it's full build Poppy or level 4. You're level 3. Well, you're beyond level 3. Like you know you're so doomed at this point. Because you know that Poppy's on bot side, done a full clear. They have a ward on Scuttle Crab, so you know he's not on Scuttle Crab. If he's not on Scuttle Crab, he is here. Because there's nothing else for Poppy to be doing on the map, and you've just blown your cleanse. You knew this a long time. You knew this is a long time coming. No one is coming to hover this dive. Faker's not in range to teleport towards the tower either, and if he did teleport, he'd still be in an awkward spot. If he teleports right now, I think his wave's in a bad spot to get back to lane and maintain a laning advantage. Whereas Zeka, yeah, I think Faker also makes a mistake here too. You can see that Zeka's had time to buy a teleport back to lane. Faker should also be backing. I think what he can do then is teleport towards bot side to save the dive and then walk up towards mid. I think that's fine, because he's unlikely to have to recall and then go back towards mid lane after that point. And because the cleanse was blown earlier, it allows them to do this. So, light comes down. Faker is not even able to complete the roam, so we can't even clean one back up. So, now we have T1 in a position where the bot lane is losing. And we said that T1 are the best team at using winning bot lanes to just win games through vision control and then through just crushing plates and crushing lanes and stuff like that. So, yeah, Bellabar, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Well, Bellabar, thanks for the follow. Doesn't stop the recall, damn. But yeah, that's a big mistake from T1, collectively stopping this top bot lane dive. This isn't actually the first time this has happened to T1 in some sense. It's the first time it's happened towards bot lane. They've typically been really good at playing towards 3v3 bot side. The thing is that you have a Lee Sin. You know that there's like some options there. I mean, also on the other side of this too, Zeus is crashing away towards top side. Maybe Oner was just hoping his bot lane would survive so he could make a play top side. That's obviously not the case. So really well played from Peanut to just get into bot lane very, very early on. It's a shame that T1 do not have a response ready for this. Because as soon as that cleanse is blown bot side, and you know that Peanut is also bot side, that dive is on, and they don't respond to it very well. You should be there covering it. And I'm not blaming any one member. There are a lot of things which could have happened. We did say defensive teleports potentially could have come in. It really depends on how the wave state was there. We didn't really get a good sign of that. But then also, Oner was going towards top scuttle and potentially a top dive, when actually I think it was more important for him to clear off of wolves and then go towards bot side as well. Give up an individual advantage to play for the win condition of bot lane. Because bot lane being ahead for Guru and Keria is so nasty. He's returning back towards top lane now, getting grubs. That's okay. But now you have a 1-kill poke Varus, and I have to say Viper is just absolutely menacing on this. Okay, level 6 hit early, but not able to connect with anything else. I mean, Zekka is not dying because he's gone for the first. He's gone for first item Merc Treads, and this is why you go for it against the Annie, because it means that it's very hard to actually get solid kills. He levels up to level 6. You know, it's a third of a HP poke trade, but it's not really the most. He's going to be able to get healing passive for the next minion kill as well. He's got his pots running, so the Ahri trade is really not even that good either. So now you suddenly have Zekka with level 6, Faker without level 6. Peanut wailing on Oner, which means that the, yeah, I mean, the mid lane play is just not the same. You can see that Zekka can just play around towards this. Good dodge. Gets himself some honey fruit as well. So Faker, as Annie, yes, you do want to just throw your ult to Ahri to make sure that they're kind of like chunked out and they can't move. But this is, you know, I mean, the Merc treads early and then chugging pots and then getting some help from jungler to secure some honey fruit as well. That's quite important though. Because it means that Ahri's ult, Annie's ult, not really that impactful. Peanut now feels like he can go towards Dragon for free. Next stun, potentially pretty bad. He has to fly. He has to use ult here. Yeah. Okay, alright. So he goes a little too far this time. But there's basically nothing left that Faker can do. Zekka's going to recall. Flash Q auto might kill. No, okay. So Peanut gets Dragon at the cost of his mid laner's ultimate. He gets a recall anyway though. The wave state is fine for Zekka. Doran, ooh, this is fun from Doran. So what Doran has done is he's pushed in top. He's crashed top side, so he doesn't have to worry about that being a pushback. Oner doesn't have level 6 yet. There's no teleports to. I mean, Doran probably can just assassinate him. Yeah, this is a good play from him. So he stops a red buff still coming through. While all this is happening, bot lane is winning for HLE, and Peanut can go in and get camp steal. Ooh, okay. He doesn't have smite. Wait, what happened with the smite though? Oh, there was a smite from. Wait, who the fuck smites that? Look at the spectator. The smite's off. Does Oner smite it? Yeah, Oner smites it. Yeah, I'm wrong. Yeah, I see it now. I see it now. That's my bad. Okay, so Oner gets the big raptor. Level 6 from Peanut. Peanut is just goated with the sauce. Damn, son. Gets the flash out of him. So Oner is denied level 6 by Doran. So Peanut knows that he has level 6 and that there's no chance of Oner getting towards that. He has the dueling advantage. He goes towards bot side jungle while this is happening. Knows he can take the fight. Gets the flash for free, which means now that Oner can't get something like a kick flash onto Zekka or Doran. He goes back towards his top side, and Peanut has been really winning out in the jungle matchup. Like, Peanut's had some great early pathing. And he's off vision as well. You know, it's a big thing about this too, is just that T1 have not been able to track Peanut very well. And Oner has not had the winning lanes to kind of do that for free. Bot on the top side. Phase rush? Is that enough? I think it is just about. Jesus, okay. Yeah, Keria doesn't have Ignite. If he has Ignite, then they can blast that out. But they went for the cleanse heal instead. I wonder if that's a mistake. I wonder if you have to go towards the Ignite in bot lane. I mean, heal's really good for like 2v2. But also Ignite is too, so it's not even like you're missing out on that. Peanut's off vision again. So Oner's going to be walking into him. So Peanut has got. He's not showing himself just yet. But like, how little information of jungle does T1 have? Oh my god, Peanut is just rolling this jungle matchup. Okay, Zek is topside too. But like, yeah, how often do we say that T1 are the team which have the jungle advantage because they're the ones with extra vision on it? And they're getting blasted across the map, man. Oh, moly. Good damage there too. So bot lane gets some help early from Peanut, and then Zeka gets some help from Peanut, and then top lane gets some help from Peanut. So Peanut's had a wonderful early game, actually. Now he's at 1 item. You know, 1-0 and 2. Oner on his Lee Sin has really struggled to get involved in the game. I think that Oner made a big mistake very early on in not covering the bot side dive or pathing towards bot side early. I think that these lanes kind of mean that you're going to have to path towards them. I guess he was worried maybe about the Jace as well. Next round of cooldowns, Zeka goes into the enemy jungle, and Peanut is out battle warding Oner. And need I remind everyone, Peanut is the guy who invented battle warding style, where, you know, counter jungling was invaded by Diamond Procs. We walk in and kill enemy jungle camps. Doran has phase rush. Is that going to be enough? Okay, Keria's actually roaming and he gets some value here. That's good for him. Okay, so they get a kill back. But, god damn. Like, there's another kill again? Jesus. But Peanut is just everywhere. You know, so Diamond Procs invented counter jungling in about season 2. In about then, right? In about Season 5, Season 6, it was Peanut who invented battle warding, where you don't go into the enemy jungle to steal camps or duel with them all the time. You do it to kill the enemy jungler. So this is a good punish from Keria. He's actually unlocked on the map, but what's the cost of this, right? So Jace is down 0-2. You have 2 kills on the Aatrox. That's good. That is potentially a win condition, because you have Varus who can be flanked on, and Jace who can be flanked on in team fights, and you can kill them. So this game is now, can Zeus bring enough value from the resources he's been given? Because sadly, Kalista will not be able to play the game. Kalista is way too under-leveled. Well, potentially under-leveled. I'm not sure how much XP you lost. But maybe not been that too much, I think. But definitely under-farmed. And I'm getting quite worried now that T1, they are not winning lanes as dominantly as before. I think there's some stuff in the drafts which worry me in terms of they've blind-picked a lot of bot lanes which have punished them. I think they've looked really good with counter-pick. Ooh, nice kill in mid lane. How the hell did he get that? You should never be killing in this lane. Oh, come on, Zeka. You should not be killing in this lane like this. I guess Faker's just better, I guess. Zeka's not impressed me that much, I have to say. Not most of the time, anyway. Like, his Corki games earlier in the split were really poor. And this Ari game is not leaving a lot to be desired, honestly. He goes first time Merc and, you know, he does okay, but he's really not doing that much. He's 2 levels up? Damn. Holy moly, 2 levels up. That's insane. Yeah, I think that T1, their blind pick bot lanes have been dismantled by some teams, not all of them. I think GENG and I think that HLE, you know, they've seen the first pick, you know, they've seen the Lucian army, they've seen the Kalista, and they have actual answers to them, and they're working well around them. They have answers which are working right now. So T1, I think they need to really consider what is blind pickable. Maybe they have to go back to blind picking for Faker to buy counter pick for the rest of the team. That's what they started doing around Worlds and when Faker came back into the roster after injury. I think that other teams, though, I think that they've done a really good job, particularly GENG and now HLE as well, of kind of looking at the priority picks which T1 have and having answers to them, particularly in bot lane, because T1, if they win bot lane, just tends to just win the whole damn game. But also sometimes in top lane as well. I mean, we'll see what happens in the rest of the series. We've seen that Zeus has also been shut down early as well at some points. And I think that Peanut is, you know, Peanut's a player which I think a lot of people really underestimate because of his international performances over the last few years. But Peanut is really, really exceptional at early pathing to, like, get into enemy lanes. I mean, he is very similar to like the Oner style of jungle in some points where he can kind of like just get off of vision and then just get into the enemy jungle and get the information warfare kind of working. Ooh, close in the Varus ult. Jesus Christ. Okay, hang on. Let's slow this down. Let's slow this down. I didn't know it was going to go this far. I should have realized actually. Okay, so huge. So what's happening with this? So what information does T1 have? So Doran's running back from base. Ari is pushing top side, so you don't have Ari in the play. You've seen Poppy and Varus run across mid, right? No, you don't see Poppy run across mid. So Peanut slipped off a vision again. You know Viper's going... Viper was in mid. You don't see him anywhere else though. Oner gives away his position on bot side. And also you know that Zeus is top side. And Annie is mid. So Faker's mid, Zeus is topside. You know that Zeus is topside because he hit the vision plant. So you will have seen that. So you know that the two solo laners are out of position for now. They can teleport. Do they see Keria? Yeah, they see Keria as well. So you know that Bard is... Yeah, Bard's walked over Ward, so you know that he's not going to be there. You know that both solo laners also have to teleport into the play too. So there's a Ward hop down. Kick away, so Guma gets some hops away, but Viper gets, you know, big damage off. Okay, there's no Steadfast present now. Wait, how does... What happens to Peanut's ult? What happens to Peanut's ult here? Because that doesn't go off the whole way. Guma's just too far behind. He doesn't have enough gold to stand and fight. Double teleport. What happens to Peanut's ult? Yeah, what happens to Peanut's ult? Does anyone know? What? He doesn't have kick. His kick's already down. What happens with his ult? He hasn't charged it long enough for it to cancel yet. Where the hell does Peanut's ult go? Is he stunned by something? No, Faker hasn't done that yet. Oh, no, it does go off cooldown. No, Peanut just overcharged it. I thought that he hadn't done it for long enough, yeah. Okay, let's go back into this again. So I was wondering what happens to Peanut's ult. I just looked at the icon on the side. I thought he hadn't charged it long enough. He has charged it long enough, so it's come back. So it's gone on to like the short cooldown, but it doesn't fire off the projectile. Double teleport's coming in. So both AD carries are kind of out the fight. Zeus has ult and has flash. So he's oh, really well played from Delight Denied, like the best kind of occasion there, scenario rather. Ignite cuts some of the healing from Zeus, but it's not enough. So HLE, they disrespect double teleports. I think Oner does a really good job to stop Peanut getting cleanly onto Guma Yushi. And then as soon as that comes down, like Viper's way out of position. He has already used his Youmu's to get into the play, so he doesn't have it elsewhere. What happens with Annie's ult? Ah, so that's Viper basically pre-flashing on the teleport. So Faker kind of loses out the minigame with that one, so he doesn't get the full damage. Yeah. And Keria gets to roam down as well. One of the things about Bard as well... yeah, so this is the thing about... so watch this. Watch what happens to Bard on the minimap here, by the way. Bard is somewhat of a semi-global champion, not just because of his ultimate, because if you look across what happens here, he's just flown across mid with a magical journey. That's going to save him a couple of seconds of travel time, because normally you're walking along there. He has cooldown boots, which, you know, they're pretty okay, but they're not mobility boots, something like that. So he saves himself an extra second or two. And he chooses his angle into the fight very well. He knows that the fight's going to go towards like the middle of bot lane rather than just be towards the other part of it. Like further up into T1 side. And he gets to come back towards the play. Gets a double stun at the end of it. Yeah. This is one of the bonuses of Bard. Bard arrives at plays quicker than you think. Keria then gets to go behind him. Oh, he mischarms the Q because he realizes the charm's coming through. That's kind of a shame for him. Blows the heal as well. Zeka uses his ult though. So, good play from T1. Good play from T1. They use their double teleports. What can they get from it? So they get gold. They're gonna get the... Well, and Guma doesn't get to stay on the map, but he does get himself a kill and assist, which is nice for him. You know, I think the actual start of this play from HLE is pretty okay. I think they've managed to get a clean kill onto Guma with the Varusol. I think that's fine for them, but then they massively overstay and they massively underestimate the teleports. Even though they started this play with full information, they couldn't finish the play before it went too scrappy. This needed to be a quicker play for them. Yeah, T1 have been playing this style since Worlds, yeah, for sure. I think that right now, though, T1, like, they've been playing the same blind picks for a while, and teams are starting to really... Okay, ult for ult, but Kalista ult is longer. Okay. So, HLE still have really good vision control, and T1 have no vision really onto the enemy side of the map. Could have been faster. Dragon coming up now, so... No Kalista ult for this Dragon. Varasol might be up. No, it's not. Well, then they're not going to delay long enough this, I don't think. So T1 can't go towards the dragon, like... I don't think they can start it, because blue side dragon really sucks, right? Because if you're stuck playing against... If you're lined up against this dragon, like, along this kind of wall, right? You've got wall stuns coming in from Peanut. And you can have, like, arrows as well, and Jace shock blasts. You have, and also Delight has more angles to kind of, like, pin you against walls, too, as well. In terms of the rel, it's harder to get away from this. So, T1... It's not good, folks. It's not looking good. Right. Well, Faker doesn't have a flash ult now. Yeah, that's... Yeah, that means that T1 lose this fight. You have no other great engage besides this. You have like a... yeah, that sucks from Faker. Oh, that sucks. So HLE, they still don't want to walk into River against, like, Aatrox flanks, because there is actually a ward or two that T1 could use for an Aatrox flank. Oh, no, I mean, I mean, he doesn't have teleport, so that's not a factor, but, like, they haven't got a vision control through bot side of River, so this is an important corridor through here, right, where if you look on the minimap, you can walk through here, and you can get a flank over here. Of course, there's, like, you can stand in the middle of the river as well, and then you can also kind of, like, through here. So you've got 3 routes you can flank from as the Aatrox, which are all pretty kind of valuable. So HLE... They need to be careful of that. Now they have good eyes on them. They've landed a good poke. Then they can start going towards the dragon. They get towards mid lane prior as well, and Zeka takes that one down. And actually win the dragon fight because Faker uses his ult. Chris thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Oh, God. So, T1, they're like 1k behind, mainly. They have 6 grubs. They can play around side turrets, which is fine, but they wanted to go towards that dragon anyway, so that wasn't the plan, you know? Zes has Profane Hydra. He's really strong at this point. Looks like he's going towards Sundered Sky to be a little bit tankier. A second item. So, good. Every time HLE move into one side of the map, their vision control has been absolutely perfect, man. I think Delight and Peanut have been a really good jungle support duo at kind of setting out the structure of the next fight. I think they are very much LCK jungle support kind of duo. If you wanted to get like the very traditional control the game through vision and kind of careful planning, I think Peanut and Delight are that duo. That's the duo I would, you know, the one I would say are most kind of traditional LCK kind of value. So, T1, they're going to side lanes. They have 6 grubs. Can they leave any wards for Zeus or Faker to get a good big play afterwards? They're both very good TP flank champions. Guess we'll see. Peanut and Delight have been controlling that a lot better right now. And also, they're not just brazenly walking into areas of the map which they don't control. They're doing that in a more respectful manner. Okay. I'm just going to speed this up some more because like this is a lot of the same kind of like walking into areas of the map and looking vision control. But the thing is, Oner's walking over enemy vision at this point. Because HLE haven't been brazenly walking into the other side, but Oner kind of has. See that T1, they're trying to like push their advantages as much as they can on side lanes because they got the 6 grubs. Baron being up makes this a little awkward, but they don't have great Baron speed because they have the Poke Varus and Ari's not Azir or Leandri's building champion. Well, not in this game, it's not Leandri's building champion. So they don't have great Baron speed, so T1 don't have to pay as much respect to that, which means they can play towards side lanes a little better. They're really looking to see if they can get like a teleport flank from Faker or Zeus. Or a pick onto Peanut if he's really out of position. But Peanut being 3-0 and 2 makes that much harder. I think one of T1's specialties is killing junglers just as Baron spawns, and we're around that kind of period of the game now. And it really does feel like Peanut and Delight are ahead in the vision game. They're really, really getting good wards down. And again, like, HLE have been the team that have been playing on bot side, and you can see that, while Peanut and Delight have been quite careful about walking into areas of enemy vision, you can see that Keria and Oner aren't necessarily they're safe, but like they are getting jumped on and getting chunked out. So now Keria's been chunked out, but he'll have... Wait, does he have pots running? Yeah, he does. He's recalling anyway because he needs some more wards. Wait, does he need wards? No, he doesn't. He's just doing it because he was chunked out, I guess, and he wants the extra pots as well. But like, what plays can T1 make? It's so hard for them to know what to do when HLE have full information on them. Also, one of the things about Lee Sin is that you go towards the warding totem, which means that T1 have one less sweeper, so they can't sweep out as many wards as HLE can, and you also don't have like an Umbral Glaive champion or something like that. So, oh, by the way, we hit over 50 subs for though, folks. That's really, really fucking cool. By the way, yeah, I know I've been like. I've been trying to keep up my streaming recently, but it's really cool to be supported in that way, so thank you very much, everyone. I really appreciate that. So, because T1 and HLE have been flitting around sides of the map, trying to put down vision and look for plays, particularly T1 trying to split the map a bit more, but HLE have got enough vision to stop T1 from cleanly getting plays. HLE have managed to survive, you know, through T1 looking around side lanes up until this dragon. They're on soul points. So T1 don't want to give this one for free if they can help it, but how do they walk into this? Because if T1 have to just like throw everything down the front and center, they lose 100% of the time. Doing that into like a two item level 11 Poppy, they're just too tanky and they're too disruptive. And then you've also got Edge of Night onto Viper, which makes it harder to flank onto him. Doran's got the range advantage, so you're potentially getting poked out before you look for this. Just about misses that. I mean, Terminus and Guma makes you more tanky, but it doesn't make you invincible, you know? So, again, using the range advantage which they have, they get on towards Dragon first. And because T1 have to go up too quickly, they can't get themselves into the pit, into the river in time. This game, folks, is entirely on Peanut and Delight. They have had such a fantastic game, actually. This is a really good game from Peanut and Delight. I think that there was a mistake from like Oner and then the double teleports of T1 not covering the early dive, and that sets up the bot lane to succeed. But Peanut and Delight have been so controlling this game. T1 they haven't had options to get like their vision control into clean playmaking. They've been completely denied in this game. This is really good. Cloud17, by the way, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Also, welcome to the chat, Sintorix. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so, HLE, they have Soul. They're not that far ahead in gold, but they're very far ahead in terms of the control which they achieved. Now, they managed to get that dragon, and they haven't got their control back just yet. And that means this is the time for T1 to strike. So they've given up Soul, but you can see that all of the wards which HLE started to put down, they have started to time out. It started to time out. HLE have been on resets. Doran walks into Zeus, who then just immediately pops ult. This is good timing from T1. This is one of the... The thing is, Jace, when he's got both of those kind of movement speed buffs on, is actually quite fast, but he's still... I mean, so, you're hoping to at least blow his flash, right? Because when you're stood here, you can't dodge this way. You can't dodge... Yeah, you can't dodge this way. So, if you throw at least in Q, like, here even. So what you do is, like, where's the halfway mark in Jace's character model, right? It's, like, here, or so. So you don't need to throw your skill shot here, because that's erroneous. He could actually step upwards and dodge that. If you aim your skill shot here, it's like almost 100% hit rate. If you aim it just on this side of that line, just overlapping his model, because like his model is going to be like to there or something, right? If you aim it here, there's no way he escapes this. You know, if he steps that way, he's still got his fat booty sticking out this side, because this is the other side of the model, and you know he can't dodge this way to dodge that skill shot. He'd have to, like, flash this way. And if he flashes that way, Zeus flashes onto him. So, I mean, that's just a bad miss from Oner. He should want... I mean, where does he throw it? Yeah, he throws it too far. He throws it way too far. He throws it, like, that direction. If you just throw it there, where it's, like, just over the halfway point of his model, you hit that for sure. Oh, wait, it doesn't even matter. Lol. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter, folks. It doesn't matter. He's fucking dead. He gets absolutely blasted. I can't believe... Yeah. Okay, so... Misses the Q1. Good backstep there. Ah, wow. Wait, hang on. Was that a flash predict from Zeus? That's it, dude. Love it. So he cast the Q. Ah, yeah, he hits him with the Q after the flash. Damn. I mean, with Q2, he was hopefully just hitting the. He didn't even need the sweet spot from that. Yeah, well played from Zes. Well played from Zes. I mean, like, yeah, you shouldn't be missing those Qs. Those ones. It's the same kind of thing. Like, I do this shit on Ari all the time. Like, if someone's stood next to a wall, you just aim it slightly over the halfway point in the character model, and they can't dodge it. Oh, Peanut using the W to stop Keria from getting through the journey. Oh, the CC chain. Okay, Peanut's too clean, man. Yeah, so, what we were just saying is that T1 know that this is their time to make plays. Because they... HLE, they just got Sol. You can see that up here. They've just made their resets and they're coming back out onto the map to try and get something done. That's why Keria is pushing up very... Keria and Oner both push up very aggressively to make plays. But, Keria misjudges the timing. And he gets stopped going through the... He's grounded because he gets stopped going through the portal. And that allows them to get a kill into Keria, even though Doran just died. This is now a really awkward point. Faker is obviously on a very low mobility champion. There's no one to back him up. They've just seen... Wait. So when does Doran die? He dies now. 2. And they know that the vision plant's just down there. They would have spotted Lee Sin coming across mid if he was going to be there. Maybe they... No, they got a ward on bot side of river. So they know where Lee Sin is. They know that Lee Sin's not coming. Kalista just showed on the mid wave. So this is a complete 2v5. I think that Zeka makes a really good call to just immediately ult in, get the resets, and then look for a follow-up play. Because they know that Lee Sin's still on bot side of river, and then Kalista's not going to be there either. So Faker's completely left in the lurch. So T1, they kind of flubbed this time window where it feels like this is the time for them to make plays. HLE, very, very clean about just arriving onto the map in good time, good resets. I think that T1 had a good timing window to punish Doran, and I understand why they go for that top side play, but trying to make plays on both sides of the map is very greedy. And you can see that T1 just punished that for free, really. Okay, teleporting back in from Jace, because he's just respawned. And even though HLE don't have great Baron speed now, because they know that Oner was on the bot side of the map and they've just killed, and also Zeus doesn't have World Ender, that's a big thing too. There's no real threat there as well, okay. Alright, so HLE, they get themselves a Baron and Sol. This is a very good game for them now. Now, they still need to be worried about Zeus doing a big teleport flank. I think that doesn't change for the entire game. So T1, they still have vision. They still have, like, win conditions, right? The fact that the... Oh, hang on. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. Kick away from Oner. Almost gets the kill. Doran lives, though. That's a shame, because if you manage to get Doran's buff away from him, it means that HLE can only really play on, like... 1 or 2 lanes as opposed to the 3 with a Baron buff. Now they're going to have like a completely clean Baron take and Baron power play. So now, we've just said that, wait, Keria's caught out again. Peanut, Viper, whoa. So much CC. Owie. Okay, force out the cholesterol. So now Keria can't play safely again. Ah, yeah, so this is the teleport flank that they need to be really careful of. So, why is this teleport? It's not even teleport flank. So he just runs around vision. Zeus has been very good at finding angles on the Aatrox. Smite away of the spell shield off of Viper, so he has to flash away from something, presumably. Yep, he does. Okay, but now Viper's, like, cleanly playing over the wall. Faker gets something onto Viper. Faker's not had a great game on the Annie. He flubbed that one ult. He's not really been able... God, good arrow snipe. Yeah, Faker's had a pretty poor game on the Annie. He traded well in terms of the solo kill onto the Ahri, but I think T1 as a team have not really managed to allow Faker angles to get the single target picks to allow Oner to just kind of one-shot someone as Lee Sin or something like that. I feel like Faker's kind of been reduced to trying to stop Zeka from doing much on the Ahri, which on the whole he's done, but yeah, I think that Ahri can do fine into the Annie. Early lane, of course, we've seen the Annie start to kind of win out, but quite hard actually, in fact. And of course there was a solo kill even in this game, but I feel like a lot of Annie players, this is not unique to this game, but a lot of Annie players are kind of struggling to make plays on their own as opposed to just kind of you know, just being a denial champion. I like the smite there. Sadly just can't get Viper away into a out of a DPS position. This is the great thing about Poke Varus, is that you can just stand at such a safe distance and you force people to get into a really bad spot against him. And that snipe is just, you know, cherry on top. Okay. Seen this already. So T1 kind of missed one of their big opportunities to stop the Baron buff from being utilized by HLE. They don't manage to break the chokehold. They don't really manage to get any deep vision while HLE are pushing up lanes because they've just been kind of shoved into their own side of the their one side of the map. And Viper on the poke Varus is continuing to be an absolute threat. Viper's poke Varus, one of the very best in the world. He might be the best in the world. I think it's between him and Jackie I really, really like Jackie Love's poke Varus. I think Viper and Jackie Love, yeah, those are like the two poke Varuses I would say are the best right now. Maybe Ruler. Ruler's also not bad at it, but I prefer the Ruler on the on-hit Varus as opposed to the poke. Okay, Peanut's tanky as balls. He sees him on the sweeper. Wait, no, he doesn't. That's the sweeper. Wait, how does Zeus get there? So he's just on a lane bush. He cancels his recall. And Zeus just like Metal Gears it for a while. Okay, not bad. He doesn't pop the world ender. Yeah. Sad that he can't get more than that. And once again, just T1 can't quite get enough done to get like vision control. And because they can't get vision control, the Jace and the Varus are getting huge value. The front line from HLE are stopping them from getting angles through the front of the fight. Elder Dragon's now up. They have a Hail Mary to win around Elder. But they don't have the vision control. And Zeus has been looking for the flank the whole game. On the whole, he's found good angles, but HLE have made it a very difficult job. It's a bit obvious from Zeus. Wait, does he just hop over? What happens here? So he's hoping that they're positioned closer towards Elder. And he's just trying to hope that no one's there to really punish him. Obviously, that isn't the case. I think that the Edge of Night on Viper and the Banshees of Zekrom stop them from being as much big assassination threats as well. Yeah, and T1, they have to back off. I mean, either way, they're not going to be able to contest Elder. They lose 2, they lose 3. Faker can't get into position to get a game-winning kind of flank or play as well. He dies. Yeah, and that's game. All right, HLE, very, very controlled. Very controlled. Honestly, I mean, I think that T1, I don't think they played around the early dive bot lane well. I don't think they've ended up drafting well for their particularly their bot lane. I think that they need to start going back towards counter-picking bot lane, and I think that Faker needs to be the one to start blind picking again. I think he needs to start blind picking as something that's valuable and just kind of is a known quantity in mid lane. Because I think when they win bot lane, they absolutely slaughter the map. And they have the champion pools to do that. So I think that's what I think T1 should do, and we'll see what they can do with the rest of this. Okay, I'm good to go straight into game 2 here. Let's do that. Change my camera over. Straight into game 2 of this one. Big mirror. I'm big now. Nice. So. Oh, by the way, Zelonic in terms of on the YouTube comments and stuff. So I'm streaming on Twitch as well as YouTube. So it's just nice for me to have this on YouTube live as well, just because why not? But yeah, I'm also on live on Twitch as well. So typically the YouTube does a lot better when I'm doing like the live casts of like LPL when there isn't an official broadcast on them. But yeah, I figured I may as well just throw it live just to kind of show some willing, and it's also just nice to have it on my live VoDs as well, you know. So yeah, let's keep going with this. So this is going to be game 2, and given the length of the VoD and what I've seen earlier on Twitter, this should be a 3-game series, but we'll see how T1 come back in this one. So Kalista first pick again. It was punished last time. So you would imagine there's going to be a Varus locked in. You'd imagine that. I mean, Varus Poppy seems like a pretty good combo here. Stop it in laning phase. And then also have some like have some real pressure from the jungle from Peanut as well. You have a lot of value against any kind of Kalista lane. I think you need to go for the Poppy on here on 2 actually. I think that's so valuable. Okay, lock in the Ahri early. So, I mean, the Ahri is a good takeaway from Faker because we just asked him to safely blind pick, and largely that's been good. But now the problem is, so the Neeko's into the mid lane, so Neeko is going to push against the Ahri, so you have one lane which is going to go better than... Well, I mean, I think the Annie is still a pushing lane, but I think that Neeko is the choice counter into Ahri if it's up and available, on the whole. General Sherman, thanks for the follow. Hope your battles have been successful. Okay. I don't know. I think that you still want to... I mean, okay. So what are your options here? Ahri Lee Sin, very strong mid-jungle 2v2. Lee Sin is one of the best early game junglers in the game at level 3, level 4. But you don't have the ability to lock the Kalista out of the game in the same way as you do with the Poppy. And it also allows you to play frontline, of which there are very few jungle champions left for that now. You can go Maokai for kind of like the, you know, there's like Maokai, Sejuani, Rel, and then Poppy. Those are the more tanky frontlines. Vi is halfway there, I suppose. So I don't really know why HLE are kind of messing with their formula from the last time. And also Faker on Nico, I think he's just much more confident at playmaking on that. I think that his Annie last year was good for Faker, but I think that this year, with that game, I wasn't impressed with it in game 1. Okay. So now the Poppy's banned away by HLE because they want it to be, you know, so they banned away an answer into the Ahri and the Lee Sin themselves. By the way, I think that Poppy Ahri is a fine mid-jungle 2v2. It's completely fine. I mean, they played it in the last one too, right? So Tier 1 banning away some of the range advantage. They I mean, do they ban away the Rel as well to stop some of the engage potential? I think Rel's not bad here. Nautilus instead. I think Rel or Nautilus would, but yeah, that's fine. I think Nautilus is actually better banned than Rel. I think Nautilus is much more consistent at reaching the Kalista. And very, very good at kind of locking people up for the Ahri and the Lee Sin. I think that when I'm playing Ahri, I love having Nautilus on my team. Okay, so you have the front line either way though. So you don't have it from jungle, but you do have the front line and top side instead. But it feels like HLE are really lacking ways to get to the Kalista as opposed to what they had in the last game, where it felt like the Poppy and then the Rel could both kind of reach it, and then you had the huge outrange of the Jace and the Varus as well. Oh, so this is now Nico support, and you have the Talia in mid lane. Okay, so now you have to play against a mage support. And Oner's going to pick something in the jungle that's hard to pick off. Viego, you can ult away from a lot of the combos, and then Xin Zhao, you just pop your ult, and then stuff like the Varus really struggles to finish you off. Which means that T1 have like a much better front to back than the last game. Like much, much better. So like goes for the Rakan. I think it gets bullied by the Nico in lane is the problem. That's one of the big problems here. Like that's quite a hard laning phase. Okay. Let's make sure this is over here. This will be fine, probably. Okay, here we go. Whack it up to 2 times speed for the early game, just briefly. So, anything we need to look about? So it's Hail of Blades over here. I'm just going to keep eyes on this, just because we have seen Lethality Kalista and Hail of Blades. It can be on hit for very early lane pressure. This is going to be Poke Varus. I think Viper... Oh, hang on. I actually think Viper knows something more than we do here, because you don't go for Comet on Varus on Poke Varus unless you think you're going to be outranged by, like, another Poke champion. So maybe Guma... So typically you go Comet into, like, other Poke champions. So maybe Guma's going to go towards that. And you can play towards, like, double Poke, Lethality plus Mage support. That's actually quite nasty. And you've got 2 very squishy people here. Also, if you're playing Lethality, it's harder for Rakan to hit Q on you because you play from a longer range. If Rakan doesn't hit Q, you don't get as much healing in lane. You are much weaker as a champion. So I think that this might be Lethality from Guma, and then also the Mage from Keria. Things to watch as well in this mid matchup. If Faker starts to get roaming on the Talia, then he gets to go towards bot lane very well. I hate these runes on Ahri. We should stop doing them. Like, you can... I mean, a Triple Tonic is good as a rune. I just feel like there's more you can get from it. I feel like if you go towards... oh, hang on. Another thing too. Hang on. Let's just check around it. So this is another thing too. Ultimate Hunter has been very good on Ahri for a very long time, but people are starting to, like... overbuild it. I think that actually Ingenious Hunter and going toward Lichbane is very, very good. In this game as well, you can actually get auto attacks onto Kalista. It's harder to do it on some of the others as well. But Lichbane in general is just such a broken item on 14.4. It's worth building it anyway. But, you know, anyway, that's a slight... in this game, because you have to go into the minefield and shit like that, I actually don't mind you going towards, like, non-auto-attacking builds. Anyway, That's just a RE main gripe, I guess. We'll see if he gets towards the early Dark Seal, which is the only thing I actually care about nowadays. Okay, so what's happening with jungle pathing? Oner once again going bot to top, even though both of these lanes are going to be fist fighting. I don't get why Oner is going bot to top so much. And pathing like this too, it's just really inconvenient for him to get towards bot side. I haven't liked how T1 have pathed in regards to like the early plays in the game. And that's a team thing, right? You don't do a bot to top clear because Oner wants to personally all the time. It's because you're deciding that as a team, right? You come to a decision on that together. I'm not saying that it's Oner making the problem, but I do think that T1 in the... Oh, shit. Nice route. Hides as a melee minion, as a ranged minion. Hang on a second, he hasn't counted minions. Owie, nasty. Because right here, hang on. This is really fun. We'll talk about this. So, I mean, are they out of vision here? So where's your vision line up to? Because your vision line from here is like... He can see to about... I reckon you can see to about there, maybe. I mean, this isn't centered. I reckon you can see to about there. Where does he go up to? Like, maybe here or so? Does he see him coming out of the brush? I don't think he does. Yeah, he's walked back. So Keria's off of vision here. Yeah, so he just gets tricked by a very early minion hide by Keria. You normally don't see that very early on. So flash and heal for free. That's really well played from Keria. That's nice. That's cool. And that's just... This is the power of pocket picks. If you are practiced at the Nico, you can do this shit. If you're not practiced against the Nico, you will lose things. Now, because Delight has no heal and flash, and he's level 1, he can't roam out of lane. Oner feels he can walk into enemy jungle. Faker is pushed out mid lane. Now, there is a chance you walk into the Lee Sin and get hard traded on, but you use red buff to red buff. I mean, obviously with Xin Sao, yeah, I guess this is one of the bonuses of doing the Xin Sao stuff, right? You can kind of like go... So he's gone full red side into invade. So he's not going bot to top, so I'm wrong on that, and I apologize, Oner, and the team for calling that. So he's going to run into Lee Sin, maybe. He didn't see him. So Peanut actually gets off a vision. What? Oh, and the reason he can do this as well, because he has that ward in vision. He has that ward in river now. So now while Faker has been... Wait, he should have seen the pet go into that bush, maybe. Well, either way, they don't spot it. So Peanut now, through this ward that was in river, knew that that Oner was coming. That's just ran out. He gets in towards mid lane. Faker is trying to... So typically as mid laners, especially immobile ones, you play towards the side of the map with your jungler on, right? So he wants to be playing towards bot side, knowing that Oner can come in from blue side a lot easier on the new map changes as well. Like, roaming from blue buff to mid lane is very quick on the new map compared to last season. So Faker hangs towards bot side. Because he's trying to be close to his jungler, but Peanut slips off a vision. Ah, nothing happens. That's a shame, because actually that was a really good path from Peanut. I'm glad that he doesn't overforce it, but also it would have been really fun if that worked out. Just because I think Peanut did a good job of slipping off a vision and kind of using habits against people. Oh, I don't want to turn on filter keys. No. No, I don't want to do that. Oh, is it because I've held shift for too long? Oops. It's because I'm holding the shift key sometimes to speed up and slow down the video. Okay, so Peanut loses wolves, and Oner uses the fact that Keria smashes bot lane so early to know that Delight can't get into his jungle to help Peanut. So T1 winning bot lane, smash through bot side vision control and laning phase. T1 are just on a roll. Like T1 looks so different, man. But Chovy's the only person that's won on Talia on this patch, are you kidding? Or is it versus Ahri? Oh, wait, so Talia versus Ahri, the only person who's won with that matchup is Chovy. Right, okay, I get it. 1 and 4. Right, good statistic. I do quite like Ahri into Talia. I think you can burst her out very hard. And you get... Your early laning phase is just much more potent than Talia's in a lot of ways. And you're just much more ready to make early game plays. It allows you to play around mid-jungle TV2 much easier. I feel like Rakam is a really bad pick here. It's Delight. So, you know. Yeah, I feel... You need engage, though. I think it was either going to be Rakan or Rel, and Rel gets bullied even harder. I think Rakan can win laning phase. I think that it's easy to dunk on the Rakan because... Hang on, what's happening here? He doesn't have kill... Wait, does he even have kill threat here? No, he doesn't. So once again, by the way... If you're going to build an amp turn, build a Dark Seal instead on your first back. Dark Seal is much better for Ahri. Dark Seal is such an important item for you. So, level 6 to level 6. He has the triple tonic all-in item. But he has no mana. He has no mana, so... Boop. That's a bit of a swing and a miss. Wait, was he doing that to stop Faker from being able to run towards bot? Okay, Zekka's not actually looking for a kill here. No, he's not looking for a kill. He's looking to chunk out Faker so we can't ult bot side. He wants it to be a clean 3v3 and knowing that he can't 3v3 himself because his mana's low. So that's fine from Zekka. I agree with that play. Okay, while this is happening... Cassante things. W out. Oh, if he gets the knock-up, maybe that's fine. Okay, so HLE are now safe on bot side of the map, knowing that Faker can't roam for free. Zekka had no mana, and he's going to be slow to push in this wave, but he gets it in just about anyway. Ooh, Delight might have just entered that a bit. No, he's fine. Okay, cool. Peanut. Just some opportunistic players trying to pick off Keria if they can. Yeah, they need to be careful now, because Faker's actually here before. Because Zekka stopped Faker for like a brief timing window, but then he just gets to reset anyway. And now he has tier 2 boots as well. Keria actually heals through that, damn. I mean, he can maybe Charm Flash, but he doesn't have ult. I don't think there's a real kill threat there. And as soon as someone gets Merc Treads as well, it feels like Ahri's kill pressure in mid-jungle TVT really starts to fall off. Like, Merc Treads really make me feel sad as an Ahri player. You can't build like Leandri's slow burn play anymore. It is very much about your burst, and as soon as Merc Treads come through, it's much more inconvenient to land your burst, but that happens. Okay, Delight's unlocked onto the map. Bot lane is poke versus pokes. We are seeing the poke Kalista, which I hadn't touched on yet. I can't even remember if he backed before this, but yeah. Faker has the Dark Seal. He's happy with that. Howdy.
How's life over here?
Not bad. Just reviewing T1 HLE because that happened today.
It did. I heard it was a fun, close series.
Game 1 wasn't.
Yes.
Actually, I think Peanut and Delight had a really good game 1. Really, really good. The thing is, I think that T1 are now getting punished for their blind pick bot laners a lot more. We've seen it with Lucian Nami. We saw it with the Kalista in game 1 as well, where they actually managed to have a very good 3v3 bot side plan. I was saying that T1's early jungle pathing has been really suspect when they don't have winning bot and mid.
Right.
I think that top lane's always a little bit about the place, because sometimes you can't play 3 pushing stars all the time permanently. You need to, it's kind of like this push and pull, the ebb and flow, and typically one side will have to be weak side. I think that when you have Keria on stuff like this Nico support hero, or you know, when they had the, I mean, versus D+, they also had the Caitlyn Nami, because they took that away. I think when they actually get to counter pick bot lane, they look really good. I don't want to see them blind pick Lucian Nami now. I think that enough of the good teams have been able to answer that now. I think we saw that from GENG with the Aphelios Lulu, and then also the Poke Kalista. That's worked really well. Let me I gotta talk about this.
I'll leave you to it. I'm gonna go for a quick break.
Right, nice.
Continue Final Fantasy.
Alright. Okay. So, good topside vision control from HLE. Delight's been unlocked onto the map a couple of times now to get vision control down. One of the great things about Rakan is how quickly he can roam, even with like W over a wall earlier into a roam, and then kind of like wait for a second cooldown for the big play in a lane. So Delight's back now. He has level 6. He can do the double E. In fact, he's just done that. He misses his combo. It doesn't matter. Okay, yeah. Rakan is so dangerous on the roam, especially if someone's ahead of him. Just the E first. E again. Yeah, I mean, he misses, but like, it's still, just the threat range is insane. But while all of this is happening, I mean... Hang on a second. I mean, so Keria's on the roam as well. Keria's on the roam, Zekka's on the roam. How does this start? So, Shinzao is spotted on top side, and he's spotted on top side. They know he's close. When does this play really come through though? Because they know he's close. Ahri's in river first, but there's a Talia ult. And they still, I think they... I mean, I guess as soon as you step into this pixel bush here, you know there's an opening. Zeus is not that tanky. Even against, you know, teleport. Well, you don't want to teleport into this as the Talia because there's like massive burst from Lee Sin with ult up, and then yeah, potentially you already know that Zek is going to be first on the roam as well. He, you know, they haven't shown on mid wave at this point, so. So Delight misses that, but even then, I mean, if Delight missing that, if this goes wrong enough, maybe Zeus can buy enough time, but the fact that T1, once again, they don't have, typically, as they'd have to, I mean, there's no wards in here, there's no wards in here. The fact that Keria won lane and didn't manage to get into the enemy jungle to get wards down with Oner is a bit worrying again. T1 were typically very, very good at that. In fact, it actually has been Peanut and Delight that have managed to get better wards because Delight's gotten out of lane. Yeah, that's a problem. The fact that T1 lose a play on top side when they have the Talia ult, because they didn't manage to get vision down to kind of time their play right, that's quite concerning. That is quite concerning. So, Guma has full Yomus. He is strong as hell. He doesn't need to go towards the Yomus either. Not the Yomus, the Muramana. And one of the other things is that because Varus and Kalista, I mean, Varus and Kalista are both poke, and they can potentially land enough skill shots to throw each other out of lane. They wave clear so quickly between the both of them. Oh, that's fun, by the way. So if you press E on Talia, then you flash, sometimes the stones come. So look here, so he puts down the E, and then he flashes midway through it. So the minefield comes out in a weird direction. You can see that, I think that the stones are meant to be like they're meant to be facing this way, but because you flash, it ends up like changing. It doesn't change anything in terms of the hitbox, it just looks weird. A little bit. It's one of those weird things. But yeah, because both of these poke AD carries clear wave so quickly, there's no real threat in a 1v1 in terms of the AD carries. Yeah. So they're both going to keep picking up farm. Yeah, Viper's lost a little bit. Oh god, and now he's getting TP'd on as well. So this is let's go back to this play. Wait, is this another time where a Lee Sin ward hop has gotten someone killed later on? Yeah, this is not the first time where a Lee Sin ward. So Peanut drops his ward to ward hop to it, and this is the ward which ends up getting teleported on. This happened before, remember? This happened with D plus Keria when there was a ward hop away from the Gromp steal. And it happens there. That's really quite sad for them. Because you still have the teleports available, and Ahri didn't use the ult in that last play. So even though there's a Talia ult which can respond quite quickly, not for the first time, mid laners against T1 have managed to get into side lanes before Faker has. And, you know, credit to Zeka for, like, realizing the angle there. So they forced the flash away from Faker. Faker is trying to push out mid lane, because if you can push out mid lane, you can use the wards on top side to kind of roam up towards there. But yeah, T1, they just kind of fall prey to the... they know the ward is there as well. But Zeus needs to crash the wave in. This is a mistake, though. You know, there are two wards which can be teleported on. Zeus has flash, but no ult. Walking up this far is... big mistake. You just teleport it. Yeah, that's a big mistake. That's a big mistake, man. You should have... the wave's into tower. Go back. Recall. That's really disrespectful. Even if Faker ults or teleports up there, you die. Oner's not on the same... wait, do they spot Oner anywhere? No, they don't even need to spot Oner. They have two wards in the frickin' lane. They've got one in the top side brush, and they got one in the one that was used for the ward hop earlier. That is so easy. Zeka also managed... he gets the Dark Seal before he... wait. Does he buy Dark Seal before this play? Yeah, he gets Malignance and then he gets the Dark Seal. So he goes back, gets a Dark Seal and a Malignance, uses his ult, so he's going to have the lower cooldown for his ult. He gets a payoff from the Dark Seal as well. It's a really nice play for him. Zeus can teleport back to lane, but like, this is a... that's a big overstay. You shouldn't be dying like that. That's... Zeus has been quite disrespectful recently. Now, there are some times where I understand that you're transferring away from a period in this year where you have had complete information all the time, which means you can play like a psychopath. You can't do that when you don't have good information. And right here, though, well, that's for a lot of the players. This one, they have the information that the wards are there. They know that Zeka has gone back and has teleport. There's no one that can stop him from teleporting. You shouldn't just sit there and go into the tower. There's no way you outplay that. Like, not from the HP and without, and also without your ult as well. He has it now, but yeah, that's very disrespectful from Zeus. Would you put all the fault on Zeus to not remember the ward? So the helpful thing here is, there is a helpful little symbol when you've spotted out a ward, which tells you when you've seen it. That's there. And then there's also that for where is it? So that's the one there. Yeah, they have it on here as well. So you see that little thing there? That means it's been pinged out. They know the wards are there. They know it's there. So that is on Zeus. He'd done the hard work. He'd done the difficult bit, right? Which is like getting the wave crash in. That's like, as soon as the wave is in this spot, okay, not here, but like, okay, as soon as it's here, you know it's hitting turret, and that's fine. You've now wasted 1 second, 2 seconds, gets hit back with a Q3. It's a great Q3, but this is egregious from Zeus. You literally have a visual reminder on your screen that these wards are here. So yeah, I think Zeus, very disrespectful. This is a very free death. It's an important death because it gets the Ahri snowballing. You know, your ultimate at rank 1 with the Malignance is like a 90 it's actually just below 90 seconds. Before you get Malignance, it's 110, 120. When you get Malignance, it goes down to something like 89 seconds, or maybe even 87 even with the, on the new patch with the extra 5 ability haste. Something like that. It's like 85 to 90 seconds overall. So you've cut off 30 seconds on it. So Zekid finds the perfect time for the play, gets an extra 8 AP from the Dark Seal stacks as well, and then you can start stacking it up and being a real threat. So that's a very simple play to give over, and it's a very impactful one. Because again, in a lot of the games we're seeing recently, there are very few tanks. The Cassante we do see sometimes, but it's kind of falling out of meta. There are no tanks really on T1's side. I mean, the Shinzao will get tanky, but there are a lot of assassination targets for the Ahri, including Zeus himself later into the game, because he'll go Edge of Night, and he'll start to drain tank by doing a lot of damage. But this is a very impactful kill to give over. Oh, by the way, I love this as well. It's just like the fucking... This is the dead body of the Aatrox. It looks like, you know, in noir films where you have like the outline of the body. It's just like the scene of the crime. So what do you got for me, officer? It's a man who overstayed his welcome in top lane. Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame. I think Zeus is, you know, Zeus is very good when he plays with full information, but recently I've definitely been seeing him overstaying in top lane and dying for it in the games that we've seen so far. And again, you know, go back and compare the VoD reviews, right? I feel like I'm being fair in saying this. I praised him before for being able to play out a lot of laning phases, even in 1v2s beyond this point. I think that T1 as a whole team is not doing an adequate job to move as laners to plays, and then but then before that, also get the vision to know when the plays are happening. Because I feel like when T1 have winning bot lane, winning mid lane, and they get vision control off of that, they are so clean at playing the game. Maybe the best team in the world at doing that. But I think that enough of their opponents now in the LCK, in terms of HLE, and then also at GENG as well, they've done a really good job of punishing T1 when they've not had that same vision control they've been used to playing with. Okay, let's speed it up again. So, Dragon up in a while. That's gone. It's a Mountain Rift. That's kind of important. Herald's up in 40 seconds. You don't have teleport from Zeka from it, but then again, he's going to have ult for it, so he's more than fine to just kind of play through top side. You've got teleport on Doran anyway, so that's your lane assignment. You're going to have Doran potentially teleporting in from bot side, because Zeka can stay top side now. We've yet to see a big wall from Faker, which could also impact this fight. If you can zone off, I mean, the thing is, HLE have a lot of way to cross walls, so it's not like that's kind of like going to be the game breaking everything. Okay, so let's slow this down. Let's have a look at setup. So, Zeka's just returned towards top lane. He's just pushed that out. He's coming down river now. You can play this slow and let Doran go in towards bot side. You have 3 grubs and you have Demolish on Doran, so you could at least get Demolish on bot side turret. Zeus doesn't have flash, but he has ult, so he's pretty happy to go through that. What about everything else? I mean, Keria has flash and ult. That's one of the big ones, right? He has flash and ult. So let's see what Keria can do. Maybe we can have a wall setting up for a big thing here. Actually, it's gonna be a combo out of vision. What is Peanut doing walking up there? I think they actually want to play this slow, don't they? I think they want to play this slow. I guess it's a little dangerous. By the way, there's something a little dangerous about letting Xin Sao with flash be on an objective like this. Because what Oner can do is you can press his Q, get 1, 2 auto attacks, and then flash E immediately knock up someone. Because you have to charge up your 3rd auto knock up on Xin Sao. So you can do that, which means that it's already dangerous the fact that Oner is there. Peanut, yeah, he has flash, and maybe you should just get out of this. Goom is a poke champion, so maybe playing it slow is a kind of annoying bit there, but then you also have your own poke champion here, so that's evened out. Okay. I mean, just flash the freaking combo or don't walk up. You want to play this slowly. Zeka, so you do have a teleport coming from Doran now. That's good damage onto Guma. Really good damage onto Guma, actually. Okay. So, Peanut's down. Great damage onto Guma, but then again, he is a poke AD carry, so he's going to have more value. So he gets the heal, so you can throw out another Q from over the wall. Okay. So, Guma's very low HP. Oner has Crescent Guard, which he should be popping like insta now. Nah, he just has to pop his ult. Pop it insta. Okay, so he gets it in time. Keria, this is really important. When someone is under threat, when someone's under threat, you want to just kind of like throw out stuff like the Nico. I think JDG were a great team to watch for this, by the way, of last year and this year as well to an extent. I think like players like Knight and 369, and I think Keria is showing a similar skill set here. It's something that you see in a lot of high level players. It's not unique to them. If you have someone that's like getting burst out, you just want to buy space, right, for them to retreat. So Keria just like buys time for after when the Crescent Guard falls. That you've got the CC coming through as well, so Oner can kind of walk away for free. Although Doran is kind of charging up. So what's happening with Zeus in the back line here? So Zeus he has ult, but he doesn't have TP flash, so he couldn't get into the thing, into his flank angle, like naturally. He's just stopping Zeka from running into the fight. Or you could say that Zeka's kind of stopping Zeus. Why did he jump forward like that? Zeka, dude, that's so bad actually. He should have died for that 100%, by the way. I mean, not a great Pierce Rend from Guma. Zeka should be dead here. He should be dead. Zeka misplays that. You should never dash into an Aatrox with the last bit of your mobility unless you're damn sure you're killing him. Good wall. Oh, this is a really... in fact, I remember watching this bit live, actually. Now I remember it. So Oner's using his Sundered Sky healing as well. To get like extra healing out of the back end of this fight. He's using his Crescent Guard to make sure that no one can gun him down. No, Keria's done his job. He dies for it, but he's done his job. It stops Viper and Doran from getting like clean kills onto Oner. This is really cool because you know that Doran's used his W now. I think Oner and Faker flip over the wall with the E and the ults. Doran has no way out of this one now, and yeah, he has no W, so he gets completely blasted. So that's good. So T1, really good pick from out of vision. Really good pick from out of vision. Now, I think that HLE should have played this slowly. Again, let's revisit this. So, no, HLE should have played this slowly. They should have realistically wanted to get bot lane turret out of this as well. Or like a demolish onto it. But as soon as this combo hits, you have to teleport in. And the reason it hits is because, I mean, Peanut's been disrespectful, yes, but Faker's just hiding off a vision to get the pink ward in here, and it's just a good combo. So, clutch combo from Faker. HLE don't get to play the fight as slowly as they want, and then T1 walk away with a good fight. So now T1 are going to get themselves Herald. They get themselves a gold advantage, and also they protect their bot lane tower because the combo came in so quickly. If they had to wait 5 seconds to look for that, then maybe the combo would have come into to bot lane. Oh, the demolish could have came on bot lane tower, and they would have lost the turret there at some point. So just worth kind of putting that out there, I guess. Okay, and we've already been through this. We've been through this before. Okay, so, lots of poke items now being built up by Kalista, Opportunity, and Yomu's. And Doran finally returns towards the spot lane turret. Again, it would have been really nice for HLE to break this open for free, because they can't, because the combo hits onto it. They have to wait a little longer to get this one, and they don't even get it on this wave. So the bot lane tower survives because Faker hits a really clutch combo around Herald. Suit it up again. So T1, now they have teleport advantage. They have Faker as well with ult as well if they want to use that instead of using teleport. Guma has instant wave clear because it's... Yeah, and Keria can use this clone to face check bushes as well. Vision control is pretty good from HLE again. Again, I really think that HLE's jungle support have done a great job of controlling Vision and contesting T1 on that. Now, it's not been as clean this game because T1 actually won bot lane. I think T1, when they win bot lane, very, very good at kind of securing Vision and then making plays off it. We'll keep saying that. So, Dragon's up now. Teleport advantage for T1, but they're bringing Doran down anyway, so that's fine. Good damage by Faker. They take some HP away from the Cassante. Faker is very strong right now. Okay, so Rend stack's being built up onto Dragon. It's not going to be a Rend max right now because you need until like level 13 for that. Faker has his ult, so you can use that to change the terrain. What are you aiming to do? You're trying to maybe buy some... I mean, Doran can't cleanly get over the wall all the time. Depends if he's got his E up or not. So Faker's looking to maybe use this wall to deny HLE from using all their mobilities. So separated Doran from the team. Okay. Now Viper still has his ult. W's okay. Yeah, but you can see that Doran can't cleanly get over the wall, so he loses a lot of his HP for that. Okay. Crescent Guard's going to come out now. Oh, that's close from Peanut. So, yeah, again, like once you think that the dragon's going to go down, you can burst it, use the Crescent Guard to make sure that Oner's never going to get burst out. Doran, because he's had to W back and E back, he can't use his ult to carry Oner out of the pit and potentially stop that smite coming through. Oner kicks... sorry, no. Peanut Cat kicks Oner through the dragon, which does some damage to it. Connects with the Q. But, like, he can't stick around there, so he goes a little early. And that means that Oner actually ends up winning out a smite fight against the Lee Sin, which is very difficult to do. So that's a really good smite against from Oner. Peanut dies as well. Herald's already in mid lane. So you've got... neutral objectives and soul point taken for T1. They get some damage. Wait, why is that? What happened with the Herald? Hang on a second. Hang on, did I just miss a stupid Herald moment again? What happens here? What happens with the stupid Herald moment? Okay, so Herald's here. Hang on a second. Oh, Keria. He wastes the... I completely missed that. I completely missed that. Keria completely just wall slams it. Take away this man's driving license. That's a shame. That's a shame. I think he okay, so hang on. No, this is so Keria accidentally clicks the Herald. And when he clicks the Herald, he knows he has to slam it into a wall to get back into the fight. Because if he's running mid lane, then his team's playing 4v5, which you can't do. So that's actually just a it's the fact that he rams it into that wall is actually a good thing. The fact that he clicked on the Herald at all is a bad thing. So it's actually not a driver's license thing, it's just a misclick onto the Herald. It means you don't get the charge onto mid lane turret though, which means that it survives longer than it should. And yeah, when you've got two big poke AD carries, which are kind of wave clearing for forever, getting damage on mid lane is quite hard to get. So losing that sucks. But Keria also couldn't exactly like, abandon the fight. So yeah, you can't abandon that fight. So it kind of sucks. Good combo top side, forcing out the ult for free. That's nice. It's a low cooldown, so it's not going to be down for forever. It's also rank 2, so your ult's on like a 60-second cooldown now, or 65 seconds, something like that. I think it's like 20 seconds off, just about. Well, he's got more cooldown reduction now. I reckon it's about 60-second cooldown as it stands. Maybe slightly above. 65 seconds, I'm going to say. Faker's now all over the place. Wow, hang on. He really just sprints it from top to bot, huh? Yeah, so he goes top lane, gets a good combo there. Knows that the Ahri doesn't have ults. There's no teleport in Zako either. Forces a response teleport to defend mid lane turret, because again, mid lane turret, very hard to take, but also very valuable, because it means that the poke AD carries with less mobility can sit and wave clear for forever. It means you have good presence over objectives, being able to push mid lane out, and then being able to go to objectives. So Faker teleports back into mid lane, has his ult, walks over vision, but doesn't matter. Bot lane turret's gone. Ooh. He has Seraph, so he's actually quite hard to kill. Good Q2 though. Q3 rather. Okay, dodged out in the combo from Delight. Seraph's big value. Does it matter? No. What's happening in bot jungle while this is happening? How did Keria get that big ult? So I mean that's a really good Q3 from Doran. Doran's had a good moment there. So Peanut just jumps onto Keria. Oner's held onto his E. Wow, Oner does a hell of a lot of damage there actually. Okay, gets the knockup. Wait, how does... Oh, Guma hits him with the... Was that a Rend or the Q over the wall? Oh, he just like rends him. God damn, big damage from Guma in terms of burst damage. I mean, it's a great Q3 from Doran to make sure this isn't a washout. If you don't hit the Q3, then this game is really hard there. Because I think you, yeah, I think Doran's actually played well this game. I think he played well last game too. Doran's had a good series so far. Okay. But you can see how much harder it is for HLE to make these scrappy plays when they don't have full control over where T1 are walking in or out of vision. Like, they're dropping wards now. In the last game, they had those wards completely down already, and T1 didn't have the information to make these plays safely. Also, HLE actually had a front line last game. They don't easily this game. I mean, Doran kind of is that. Yeah, he is, but as soon as he pops ult, it's a bit weird. But, like, the rel on the Poppy was so impactful last game. And once again, this is why the Herald slam into the wall kind of sucks. He couldn't abandon the fight, but it just means that mid lane turret's going to be up for absolutely forever. It's one of the reasons why Chinese teams have struggled to speed up the game as well. It's because in last year, you could get 2 Heralds, one at 8 minutes, one at 14 minutes, to double slam them into mid lane turret and take that turret down for free. It was so valuable. Wait, what happens there? Oh, Keria's hiding as Guma. Although, yeah. Well, whatever. Ult for ult, whatever. Okay, ult hits onto Oner, but not so much avail. Keria's already used his ult. Okay, dragon spawn. Hang on. Actually, let's have a think about this. So HLE, after the last fight, because they don't get blown out, they actually get a decent amount of wards down in their own jungle. They know there's no flank ward at that point. Faker is in his own jungle. They don't have vision on him, but Faker's not really in position to affect this fight. And because mid lane turret is still standing, it's much easier for HLE to kind of defend plays coming through mid lane. Keria, if he gets that kill, probably wins T1 Dragon for free, because it means you can push out bot lane turret for free, and you don't have the Ahri kind of threatening in the fights as well, because Ahri is actually quite strong here. Level 14, 2 items, strong. Oner can't walk into River for free because he's been hit. Yeah, and Keria just gets hit while he's cleaning out vision. He is not very tanky. Ooh, good cholesterol. So they don't get the kill for free. Keria damn near dies to Viper though. What happens to Faker here, actually? What happens to Faker? Does he teleport? Does he do a weird teleport? No, he just goes bot lane. Yeah, see, he stays bot lane to push this out. They have vision on him. So they try and make a play away from Faker right now. Very nearly kill Keria. But this is a great wall from Faker. This is a really good wall. Yeah, Zeka can't get out of there. He doesn't have flash or ult, so that's a really good ult from Faker. Faker on the Taliyah mid game has been a real force. He's had really good combos. He's had really good walls. Yeah, no one still dies here, right? Jeez. Oh, the Q misses from Guma. And also, again, this is not DPS on the Kalista. This is, like, very bursty, but it's not DPS. So, despite the wall, it's a 2-for-1. A lot of that is through Viper's arrows. Viper gets some big damage now. Stops Oner from getting into the river easily. And then also kind of, like, chunks out Keria from getting extra value in that fight, too. So, Zeka and Viper control that choke point well. Faker's wall's good. Doran actually gets himself into a good frontline position as well. It's the first time that HLE have managed to play around an actual frontline. And even then, Doran doesn't manage to get like the Q3 doesn't get much value there. It's enough, but I mean this is just Cassante things. He tries to stop Guma getting into the fight. If Guma's more DPS, then you can like run around this frontline a lot more. Good Q3 there actually. Force out the flash from Guma. Good damage. Okay, death cap for Faker now. Next time you misstep into him, he one-shots you. Zes hasn't necessarily been like the game winner just yet, but if he gets past Doran and into the backline, things are nasty. Oh man, too much nasty from Sterex and Boots. Oner should have been charmed into ulted there from Viper, but too much nasty. Okay, force self ult for combo. Yeah, everything. You need to be very careful about this Taliyah combo now. It will one-shot you. It's very, very nasty. Zeka loses his Dark Seal stacks as well, which sucks for him. He's going for Crypt Bloom next, which is okay, I guess. But Zeka, by going Crypt Bloom, is basically just saying, I want to hit Shinzao, which I'm not sure is the best choice. I feel like you should be trying to assassinate the backline in this game. You have enough damage to, like, kill Keria or Aguma on your own, pretty much. Well, maybe not through Edge of Night. That's a question. I don't know if Zeka actually needs the Crypt Bloom. Well, he's going for... Is he going Void Staff? Do you really want to be hitting frontline that badly? Because there's only magic resist on one person, and that's Oner. I don't like that from Zeka. I think that's a bad build. I think you can go towards Zhonya's and be a setup champion, but you have, you know, you have Varus and Rakan, and you're hitting the charms already. I think that's fine. I think it's, yeah. Okay. So now we get to the point where Baron's on the table, of course, and like genuinely under threats. Faker's actually got quite good Baron DPS because he has more consistent DPS than the Ahri this game as well. And you have Rend, even though it's not, you know, on a hit close to Rend, it's still something. So HLE trying to, again, get themselves a pocket of vision to play around. If you can punish Guma, he doesn't have lifesteal with this build either. And that means that Guma will have to reset. Now, you've bought yourself a reset with that play. Is that going to be a Baron start, or is this going to be vision control? So Zeus is not going to have his shield blown that easily. Ult for ults. World Ender down, quickness down. So that's just going to be vision taken. I think if you kill Zeus, then you can go towards Baron for free. I don't know if I like this. You don't have great Baron DPS. It's okay, but again, you can see it going down quite slowly. It's not an on-hit Varus. So Zeus doesn't have World Ender. Keria has Flash and ults. Oner still has Crescent Guard. Great wall from Faker to join the fights. He doesn't go too far. Keria. Yeah. So to HLE, they just fire too fast on this, folks. And now you have an actual flank angle from Zeus. They go too fast. Yeah, HLE go too fast. Wait, was Keria on vision though? I think he was. What the fuck? Does he have a sweeper available? I mean... Oh, he goes invisible with the first second of his W. Yeah, so you don't always see this from spectator point of view. But Keria here, he has like a half second of invisibility where the ult is really hard to see. So he presses W, charges his ult. They won't see it right now. They see it now. They see it now. In terms of the ult. So that's Keria using the W very well. But even then, HLE, they make this play too quickly. They know that Zeus, even without World Ender, is actually going to be a big threat. Viper doesn't have Edge of Night. Does he have it up? Or does he just not have it? Let me just check. Where do I see the items? Let me see items. So he has it, but it's just not up. Okay. So that's blown before. When does the Edge of Night get blown? Was it blown by Baron? Yeah, it gets blown by Baron. That's a big mistake from Viper. Because the actual Baron auto attacks shouldn't blow your spell shield, right? Pretty sure. It has to be like one of the big area of effect things which happens. So that's a mistake. I think that's true anyway. Okay. So you don't have Edge of Night. Zeus is on the flank. Faker's in the front line. You have way worse DPS compared to the Talia who has a death cap. And then Keria gets a huge setup play here. And then you've used 2 of your 3 ults from Ahri. You don't have a reset in here as well. So you just... Oh my god, you just die for free. Jesus. I mean, you have flash from here. Hang on. Should you be able to flash out of this? So you see it now. Oh, he almost gets out. If you flash instead of ult, you're fine. And then maybe you can turn around the fight. But Zeus comes in for a massive flank even without World Ender. World Ender's big for Aatrox. But I mean, when someone's that low HP, you take it for free, right? And actually, they just... Now this is game over. You're not escaping from this. Mr. Light is basically out of mobility as well. You don't want to blow your flash at this point. Viper dies. Is Peanut going to live? Peanut might be able to live. But I don't think it changes that much. He can't go for a Baron steal. So, where does this start from actually? Let me remember. So they get the chunk onto Guma in mid lane from Peanut. Now, then we were asking, is this a Baron star, or is this just vision control? Because you have the poke Varus, and you know, there's a lot of DPS from Faker, and there's a flank angle from Zed. This should have been just been vision control from HLE. I think maybe you can look for a pick. I think you're looking for a pick. You threaten to start and you look for a pick. The fact that you end up getting stuck between, you know, the two solo laners and you know, the work ground and everything else, it puts you into a really awkward spot. You can't really dive forward through the minefield for a pick because, I mean, Lee Sin would just get stunned. Same with Doran. Zek would have to look for a flash charm. But if you're doing that, then you know with Keria's there. If you have to flash forward as Ahri, you're going to get hit by the Nico ult from support. So they needed to back off. They shouldn't have started this Baron. They can't take it quick enough. So that's a big mistake from HLE. It's a big mistake from them. They should have looked for a pick, vision control into pick. Because they got that reset, they can buy that one for free. I think they just take it too quickly, man. It's really well played from T1 to like wall into the play, understand they have the DPS, and like they balance the sides of this fight very well. Where they have, you know, they have Faker with a lot of threat to stop them diving into the 4-man unit, even with the numbers advantage. And then, well, they don't have the numbers advantage anymore because Goom is actually back in time. And then and then even without World Ender, Zeus gets like an opportunistic pick and then threatens Viper. And then, of course, like the extra wave kind of teleport to is kind of added insult to injury. Good stuff. I think they would have like potentially cleared up those kills anyway without that, but still secures it. Okay, so now we have Dragon Live. This is Soul point. This is Soul for T1. You have Faker who has ult up again because he's late game. He has a lot of cooldown reduction on the last rank of his ultimates. Let me slow this down. And then, of course, you got the Baron buff helping them push in lanes. Zeus actually does have World Ender this time, and he has a Spell Shield up, so they're looking to stay. So Zeka does the right thing and blows the Spell Shield with Q. Yeah, so this is a good play. How much do they use for this, though? So they use Varusol, they use Ahri ults. How much does that get you out of position? Not that much, actually. And so Zeus doesn't manage his flank angle that well. So Delight blows that blue trinket. Ah, that's a mistake. Zeus, dude, you don't have to walk up that far. You don't have good vision of them. You can literally just stay around this bot side. You shouldn't. You have no right face checking that. It's not the first time where Zeus has had. He did this in game 1 as well, where he had like a pretty bad face check looking for his flank angle. So, despite the fact that T1 just came off of a 1 Baron and they have a big gold lead, they kind of don't approach this with the best vision game again. HLE do once again have very solid vision game. You're not allowed to get shit for free here. And as suddenly you have no flanking threat from Zeus, although you don't have any ult from Ahri, which is a big thing. Even at level 16, you're not getting a second ult by the end of this fight. Good damage from Faker though, Jesus. Doran gets absolutely chunked. Yeah, I mean, look at the damage from Faker. Doran flips himself through the minefield, so he takes a lot of damage there. And that opens up Oner to... Does he get Crescent Guard out? I mean, all of this is just Faker DPS, right? So Doran gets absolutely shredded. Goomer actually gets to do some Kalista things even as, you know, he gets the run stack even if he's the on-hit. Yeah. So that Doran positions really poorly around this dragon. And Doran's had a good game. But look, he's 100% HP. You know, that's like one threaded volley and one of the big ones. And then he just goes straight into the combo. It's like, Jesus Christ, he's chunked. That's late game Taliyah for you. This is one of the other reasons why Taliyah is so nasty. Cholesterol to threaten in extra engage. You can't steal with an arrow. I mean, Faker does just ridiculous damage in late game. He has the Void Staff instead of the Crypt Bloom as well. No, does Keria die here? Ooh. Probably, right? He should die. Ooh. Just the Zhonya's, actually. Oh, does he juke him? Gets an extra stun. Oh, come on. This is so sad for HLE. Really good stopwatch. Uses the invisibility. Flies back with the extra CC. Oh, man. That's insult to injury. Do you have to blow flash for this? That sucks. Okay, Zeka's jumping forwards. And he can't even get anything out of that. He's got a very low damage build. You know, Horizon Focus is not that high damage. Once you get to because you get Horizon Focus because it's a cheap spike. I don't like it. I think that Ahri doesn't want to go to cooldown items. In terms of like you go to your Lost Chapter from Malignance, that's already a lot of cooldown reduction. You go towards Horizon Focus, but in place of that, if you went towards a Lichbane or whatever, it's so much easier to kill off a lot of your targets. It's slightly more expensive, but the movement speed's nice, the extra proc is nice, and the stats are just much better as well. Yeah. And of course something like a Dark Seal to stack up as well is always nice as well. He doesn't have the stacking this game. So he is not a snowballed Ahri, and Ahri is an inherently snowballed champion, which he's not managed to pull off this game. So he can't even kill Keria. He doesn't even blow his heal. That says a lot. He can't even blow his heal at that point. And he's going towards a Void Staff, which I think is also a bad third item here. I mean, who has Magic Resist, right? You've got Merc Treads on Oner. That's it. No one else has Magic Resist. I think that's a huge mistake from Zekaria. Like, what Magic Resist are you cutting with this Void Staff? It's a huge amount of gold to put into that. Which does hurt in late game. It does hurt. Because, you know, you're in late game, and you wish you were doing more damage against your primary targets, which you're just not. And I think that Faker, he is hitting frontline. He has a Death Cap and a Void Staff and a Seraph's. Like, that's unholy damage towards Doran, who just is not kitted out to deal with the Talia. And yeah, you know, T1, this is a much more confident game. I think that they've managed to finally get themselves a chokehold over this game in terms of vision control. I think a lot of that came from very confident play from Goomer and Keria. Keria's level 1, and the level 2 rather, where he gets the hide as a minion. It meant that basically HLE's bot lane could never get back into the game. You know, Viper and Delight, basically from eating one root at level 2, have completely been, like, blown out of this game. Oh, he gets the Rend set, gets the slow, which means that Peanut is in big trouble. Yeah. Nice. And they're trying to grab some control, right? You see what Peanut is doing there. He's dropping some wards along the way. He's trying to make sure they have some pocket of vision to maybe fight for something in bot jungle. But that's just not easy to do. This game is very much about who gets control of jungle vision through particularly winning bot lane. And I think it's quite telling that HLE have... I mean, they've got Viper and Delight, very good bot lane. And they've managed to punish some of the blind picks from T1 and bot side. But not in this game. I think Keria's champion pool once again kind of comes up trumps. If you have a game where Keria is picking different stuff, typically T1 are going to win the game of League of Legends. Oh, that's really nice. Oh my god, the damage. So that's good. So this is... so with Nico... if you get your root through one target, the second any targets afterwards get double stunned. They get stunned for the double duration. God, words are hard today. Which means that late game, it goes up to like 2.5 seconds or something like that. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's like 3 seconds. Jesus Christ. Yeah, and you know, Viper doesn't have cleanse, so it's a full 100-0. Keria has a great game. Keria had an awesome game. He had some huge plays. It's very easy to int on Keria on Nico support. Well, then again, it's easy to int on Ashe support as well. I think that, on the whole, Keria very, very good at the high-risk, high-reward champions. He plays out the laning phase so well on them that he justifies it. And he gets enough gold to then actually be a threat in later fights. Okay, I'm going to leave it on this for a bit. I'm going to have a quick brain break, and then we'll come back and finish off this series, because I need to. So I'm going to go grab myself some sugar from the other room. I'll be back. Go to the toilet as well. Alright, be right back, folks. Be right back. Right to you. Silver family. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Okay. So, let me move my camera. This will be last draft of this series. Where, I really think... So, HLE choosing blue side, interestingly. Maybe they don't want to have to deal with the blue side, Kalista again. I am surprised that they go towards blue side when I feel like counterpick in bot lane has been really, really important. Maybe they feel like they can like first pick a choice AD carry, then hold a support counterpick for later. And they're actually banning out the Lucian now. They ban out the Lucian and the Kalista. Senna's gone as well. I feel like so much of this game is going to be on support counterpick, you know. It just helps you to smash 2v2 too much. I mean, Guma can play some different stuff too, but I think you need a bot lane counterpick for this series. I'm quite interested to see how T1 can kind of... if they've recognized that. Okay. Varus ban as well. So a lot of lane dominance gone. So they lock in the Maokai instead, which can be a bot lane pairing. It's one of the few champions which can be a flex between jungle and support alongside Ral. What are we thinking about the Ahri and the Talia? Do we think that's valuable? Of course, stuff like the Smolder is still around too. It's just not been a factor. With so many bot lane bans, we might go towards stuff like the Smolder again. But then you don't have lane dominant picks to pick into the Smolder. Yeah, Aatrox Ahri are good blind picks. They are good blind picks, but I feel like now I feel like the problem is if you lock in, say, like Smolder to Lear. If you lock in Smolder to Lear, you have a good answer in mid lane, and then potentially you have a really good answer in a scaling answer in bot side where it feels like a lot of scaling picks are gone. I think Talia is valuable either way. They lock in the Jace, so it's a good matchup into the Aatrox. If you lock in the Talia, like, yes, the Ahri gets the early shove, but I feel like the Talia, unlike what T1 showed in the early game so far recently, Talia should be able to roam it towards topside regardless of whether Ahri has the shove, because you have the ult to help you out with that. I mean, Aatrox is a fun... You have the blind pick something as T1 here, right? And the problem with the Maokai is that the Maokai doesn't really show your hand that much. This can still be jungle, this can still be support. This is a good flex pick, so if you lock in... If you lock in the Smolder, there could be Smolder Maokai in bot lane. You could also go for, like, Draven Nautilus kill lane or something like that. Or Zyra Khan. You know, that'd be fine here too. I think Zyra Khan's actually a fine bot lane now. You have a lot of the kill pressure lanes coming through as well. It's the LCK. You could even have something like a Zeri coming through. You have a very early game topside. Snowball early game topside from T1. It wouldn't surprise me if Maokai went to support. So picture this, right? I think what T1 are looking for is Snowball topside. I think what you can do is... Maokai's not great against Snowball topsides, because you can only fight at level 6, really. I think you want this Maokai support. One way or another, you want this support. So maybe you ban out some other stuff which might be able to threaten bot side. Maybe you ban out, like, Nautilus. I think what you do is you go for Poppy in the jungle. You go for Peanuts Poppy again. Very, very good against Aatrox, Ahri, and Lee Sin. So I think you need a Poppy ban here, 100%, because the Maokai flex into bot side is too much. The gamble which T1 might go towards is say, we let the Poppy potentially go into the jungle, and we allow the Maokai go into support, and we look for a kill lane bot side to punish like a Maokai which can get killed in lane. I think that's stupid. I think that's really bad because it means that Peanut just gets to get his best champion again. You know, T1 want to be focusing topside. I think they want to so they ban out the Rakan because Zyra Khan's one of the best remaining duos. I think you ban out Poppy, right? You have to ban out Poppy. You got last pick. You can counter pick your support if you really want. I mean, counter pick AD carry's not even bad because Yushi's got a wide pool. Ban out, I think you have to ban out the Poppy. They ban out the Renata. Maybe they're worried about, you know, Draven Renata or something like that, or something kill laney. Or Zyra Renata would also not be awful as well. That's pretty okay. But like, what happens if this Maokai goes support? You know, I think they're okay with that. HLE banning out some of the bot lane pressure champions again, which makes sense. I think the Caitlyn and the Ashe would punish a Maokai support too much. Now, what do you fourth pick here on T1? Because the Poppy is still up now. You need to kill lane bot lane. That's the only way that this works out, right? Because what happens if Poppy comes in for Peanut, and now suddenly you have the Maokai support in bot lane? You need to be able to punish that, because you can't allow a Poppy Poppy jungle to come in. So Smolder and Zeri up, and there's very little lane pressure left which can deal with them. I mean, could you go scaling for scaling? No, I don't think so. Well, I mean... Okay, you can lock in the... If you lock in the Nautilus here, it's good on the roam, it's good in laning phase, and it means that you can look towards kill lane, or like Smolder 5th pick, to then allow the Nautilus to roam up towards topside. But I mean, you just Poppy here, right? Surely. What, Smolder Poppy? Okay, they go for the Alistar instead. Okay. So now you have the issue of... So it's different to what I was... Okay, you know what? I'll take the L on that. It's different to what I was thinking of. So now you have Smolder Talia. Whenever Smolder is in the game, I think Talia is valuable. Because Talia, on the enemy side, can dive bot lane. But on the allied side, the Talia can then roam bot side and protect any dives which happen towards bot side as well. This might sound a bit strange. I wouldn't mind a Twitch here for Yushi. Because I think Twitch or Kai'Sa are good. I think if you go... I think Kai'Sa is fucking excellent here, actually. If you go Kai'Sa, even like the AD build, you can kind of play towards fast, snowball, assassination style. I don't want to see them go towards the lesser form of Smolder in the Zeri. because you have, you know, better front line here. You have Talia that can stop you from dive. Talia is really like annoying for the rest of the champions to dive in. Talia is great at stopping dive. She's not that great at stopping 5 champions diving at her though. She can stop like 2 or 3, and in this case, you know, you've got 4 dashes to stop. I mean, Zeri would also be another dash. I feel like Kai'Sa Nautilus would be really good here. It's kill lane and it ends up scaling too. Even though Goomer is not, I wouldn't say like he is a lot of AD carries really prefer stuff like the Zeri and the Kai'Sa. I feel like he is a champ. I think as a player and as a team, T1 are much better when the game is not about those champions. I think he's better at other stuff. Or like comparative to the rest of the AD carry pools. Like players like, you know, Viper or, you know, I mean, someone like Darkdown or Pays, much better at stuff like the Zeri meta. I think that Gumayushi, he's not always the player I just say, you know, he's the best in the world at the Zeri, he's the best in the world at the Kai'Sa. You know, he's still good at them, he's still world class, but he's not as far ahead of the rest of the world as he is with something like the Caitlyn or like the Lucian or something like that. Or is this the LS build Kai'Sa? I actually don't mind either version. I think that when you have the Kai'Sa going for the poke build, you hugely outrange even the Jace here, and there's not a huge amount of sustain on the other side. Yeah, this last pick Zeri doesn't do it for me. Because the idea is, so the theory is with the last pick Kai'Sa here is that you do better in the early game than Smolder. You do better at 2 items at Smolder just about, and then beyond 2 items, Smolder takes over the game, but you've closed the game by then. I feel like you need to hyper snowball the game. So if you're going early game, I still prefer Kai'Sa Nautilus in terms of an early game duo. And if it goes late game, you're fucked anyway. But if you are going to go late game, I feel like Kai'Sa is better in the early game and the late game than the Zeri against this kind of composition. You can go towards poke and there's very little sustain, and you can actually outrange. And plus also when you've got people like, once you've got like the Nautilus or like any of these champions going forwards, the Kai'Sa can combo onto them and like get huge bursts. I think the AP build is completely fine. I think the poke build's great. I think even the on-hit build, the crit build, is fantastic at splitting open the fight. Because if T1 can kind of like dive towards one side of the fight, they can stop the Smolder being in range to do damage. You can catch someone out of position. I think that Kai'Sa completely solves this draft. I think that the Zeri is not good here. Because you're not bursty enough to stop Smolder from doing damage. You're not gonna stop Alistar from popping off this game. I feel like just HLE massively outscale now. As long as they survive the early game, which they should be able to. I mean, the top side the worry is that Keria gets to roam around the map as Nautilus and doing Nautilus things. That's the worry. That's the worry. I just don't think that T1... I don't think they have enough firepower late game, and I don't think they'll be able to close out early enough, because Maokai and Talia can stall the game for fucking forever. Same with Smolder. Because every time you look for a wave, it feels like Smolder is just going to like ult the wave, and it's going to disappear. I think that's a huge mistake, letting... I mean, if you're going to... I think the Smolder is fine. I think you can counter it. I don't think this is a good answer. I think LPL have been picking Zeri into Smolder. Yes, and it hasn't worked. Zeri has not worked into Smolder in LPL. They might have picked it, but it hasn't been successful. Smolder and Senna are 2 champs that don't seem to have a solid counter in LCK. LCK have been dealing with Smolder better than LPL. LPL has now finally started using Kai'Sa as an answer into Smolder. But you know, Senna was massively, you know, winning LPL, so was Smolder. Yeah. Okay, so early ward onto jungle start, that's good. So fine, so T1 have a good vision in terms of starting vision in terms of jungle pathing. Peanut 7-0, okay, nice. Oops. Okay, so Faker's gone for DMATs. It's prio above all else, and it means you can go towards like tier 2 boots and just roam to plays insta. I think that yeah, I mean wave clearing at level 7 in games like this actually does mean an awful lot, because you're just hyper early game focused. But this game is going to go so poorly though if you don't snowball through top side. Because you can't dive the Alistar on bot side, and especially against the Talia as well. Talia is very, very good at defending bot side dives, and as is Maokai. Now, if you walk early on into the game, Maokai can't do much bot lane, but as soon as you get it throughout past like level 4, level 5, and particularly once you get level 6 as well, obviously with Maokai, then you have really good ability to kind of go bot side and be just really disruptive. But even just before level 6, level 4, level 5, when you've got... I guess with this build, I guess with the tanky build you get like the Q upgrade, but just the ability to just kind of keep smashing and look for a second Q as well in some of the fights too, it's really, really nasty. Also kind of brawly at that point too, decent amount of HP. Okay, so Oner's gone top to bot looking for an answer into mid lane, but he was warded out on his Raptors as well. So this is good. So the problem is here is that there's a ward on Raptors and there's a ward on Tribo. So they have both. Unless Oner wants to do a ward hop over here, it's a problem. But even then, there's a sapling right here. So it's really there's really good information on Oner's first clear again. If he hops over this wall and goes too close to this brush, then he gets hit by that sapling. If he's looking into the enemy jungle, it's very hard for him to get anything there. Even though Lee Sin is normally a very good invading champion because he just kind of threatens to kill you. So. Right, so Oner's got an option into mid lane, I suppose. But I feel like Zeka just hangs towards bot side of mid, which is exactly what he's doing. He hides behind the minion wave as well. He just did he just step out of that brush? Yeah, I think he just stepped out of that brush, didn't he? Did he just step out of that? Yeah, he just stepped out of there, right? Or is that just a spectator thing? Oh, I guess not, because the Zeka's still up here. So that's a red buff slow. Misses the Q. Ah, man, if you're going to charm flash, then, you know... Oh my god. It's a double buff transfer. I mean, Faker gets double buffs off this, but I mean, if you're going to throw the Q... Yeah, or rather, if you're going to charm flash, wait for that to come through first. That's... yeah, that's rough. That's really rough. I mean, at least Faker gets double buffs, and now this means that Zeka's going to have a harder time in lane, so I mean, there is a silver lining, but the fact that you've given first blood kill over to Zeka is a pain in the ass. Because he's going to come back with tier 2 boots already at 4 minutes in, which is just such a pain. He has to outstep a lot of skill shots now from Faker. It's harder to get hit by big combos, because one of the biggest things for Ahri in mid lane is that you want to be faster than your opponent. Doesn't matter how fast you are, it only matters that you are faster than your opponent. Because it means that you can walk up and threaten charm by just walking at them and closing the distance slowly. And also your W as well helps you to do that too. Oner's going back towards mid lane. There's no flash here on Zeka now, but there was a really good ward out there in bot side. Ah, they're both on vision. HLE, their vision game against T1 this series has been really good. It's been really good. Honestly, you know, HLE, I get that a lot of people were predicting T1 to just, you know, win out this series, and they did deal with them quite confidently in their first time of meeting them. But, yeah, I feel like HLE, they've really had good vision control. And I think Peanut and Delight have been absolutely phenomenal this series on the whole. Ah, it's a couple of Qs from Oner which have not been... I mean, if that Q hits, it's just such an easy kill, and you just walk away for free. Burns the flash as well when he was going to die to the tower shot. Like, that's just a bad early game play. That's just bad mechanical execution, sadly. It's a really good path. I mean, I think that the play is good in terms of getting off a vision and getting an angle in towards mid lane, especially given the fact that HLE had such good vision on top side of the map, but it's just really poorly executed. So now Oner is just really trying to hyper snowball the early game. And T1 have to snowball the early game, remember. They have to. Okay, they get the Q this time. He can cancel out the Q if he needs. He doesn't manage to actually cancel out the damage though. He just dies. So kill to Guma, that's important. Because again, Zeri is better in the early game than Viper. Than Smolder. You're giving up 3 grubs. There is a Jace. Jace is going to be hitting turrets quite well this game. Against the Aatrox anyway. Whoever's laning against the Aatrox potentially gets to hit towers. I mean, Aatrox is pretty good at all-laning, so I guess maybe that's not completely true if you know, Talia wants to side lane against it. But, giving out 3 grubs is not the best thing. And also with the work that Doran's done very early, this Jace has been left alone in top side. This is the problem of just hyper-focusing on mid and bot lane, is that, Jace gets left alone in top side, which is potentially very dangerous. You can see that Zeus is being, losing a lot of farm here now because he has to back off from turret. I don't think he can walk up and farm this. Can he? I feel like does he die here? Yeah, I think by walking up and farming this, yeah, Zeus has been quite... I mean, he's just going to get, like... Oh, he doesn't even flash the combo. I mean, maybe he dies anyway, but... I know, maybe he doesn't. I think if he flashes the headbutt, he lives. Either way, he's missing the wave. sucks for him. Zeka ults up as well. So, yeah, Zeus, it's a hard laning phase early against the Jace. I still think that he was quite disrespectful in the way that he walked up there. I think that, you know, there was no way he was living through that as soon as he's forced away from turret there, and you've got the huge ultimates coming up. And also Zeka actually gets out of lane 2 and he's 2-0, so... while I think that T1, when they were playing the Talia, they struggled to get out of the lane early, that is not the case here for Zeka on the Talia. It's a good gank on bot side, but yeah, my worry is that you've already given gold over to the person that can stop your snowball. This Talia can answer a lot of your snowball plays on top side, which is a problem. I mean, I don't get why he doesn't flash either. Maybe he thinks that Zeka will kill him regardless, but that's... At least you force out flashes for flashes. I think that's completely fine. That's... Yeah, that's a bit of a head scratcher for me from Zeus. And while all this has happened now and again, and I keep highlighting this, because particularly in the LCK this is a big thing too. When you are winning on one side of the map, once you make... So, for instance, everyone from HLE just stormed up top side by going through here. Look at the amount of vision that they end up leaving as well. 2 pink wards and another ward in there as well. So they're going to... Oner has one entire side of the map where he can't walk into. And on the other side now, we talked about how you pick Smolder alongside champions that are very hard to dive. I mean, the Alistar is the primary one amongst them. They managed to kill him from away from the turret, but I mean, T1 don't really even have themselves a great cross map here. You can't dive under turret here. Not with Viper having ult and flash. And the next time a wave gets close to kind of like killing him, he just ults the wave. Okay, right. Coffee done. Coffee finished. 55 stacks, not bad. Okay. And now, so T1 call off their cross map. Oner's on top side and they see... Wait, do they see Oner going through top side? No, they don't. No, the wards have run out by this point. Do they spot Keria on that pink ward on top side? Oh, yeah, they do. We actually just saw that there. So, yeah, this is one of the things when you go through an area of the map, you expect that you expect wards are being dropped, right? So T1 just saw HLE move through topside. They should expect the wards are there. The fact that it catches Keria is kind of sucky. I think maybe the way that obviously you escape this is by hugging the top wall. Like if you walk along here instead, you are safe. You are not seen. So Keria maybe just not respecting that vision could be put there, and I don't think they saw that. Yeah, I don't think they would have been predicting any of the wards along kind of like top side of top lane, or like even in the middle of the lane. I don't think they saw any of them get dropped. And now Guma, knowing that Keria is not here, knowing that Ahri has no teleport, that Zeus has no teleport, it's just a free kill. And you know, Smolder is meant to be the champion that is behind early, is meant to be Dove. That's no longer the case. He gets a kill in the early game. And T1's early snowball. This composition needs to snowball early, and they've given over 3 kills early. So this game is already, even though, I mean, it's 1,000 gold lead, which for this point in the game is well, 500, whatever. Close enough to, what, 700? Yeah, you know, whatever. It's close enough to like, you know, a significant gold lead that T1 are really scared now. They're really scared. You have 1 item on Ahri, which means that you can force plays and carries out on the map. But T1 need to get some huge plays like right now, otherwise HLE just absolutely steamroll this game. Because you are outscaled on both top side and bot side. There are globals against you. When you start flying into fights, Maokai ult is also... Maokai and Talia ults are very good at responding to aggressive plays. Smolder ult as well. So yeah, there are 3 long-range ultimates which can stop you from making big plays. So T1, it's hard for them to make plays, but they have to. They need to get ahead. I think that Faker should be getting a Dark Seal. I think that you just need to gamble that you're going to start stacking that up more. You just hope that you can snowball this game. Keria has been spotted out too. He's walking over wards. Once again, HLE have done a fantastic job of dropping vision where they need to. You know, it's helped out in topside multiple times. It's helping up in river now as well. And you can see that HLE's lanes can play with impunity. They can farm for free, and they can move off of vision, so T1 have to play respectfully, which they can't afford to do. They can't afford to play respectfully. This is a very difficult game for them. As soon as they start, you know, giving kills, as soon as they started giving kills over to Zeka, I was worried because he can wave clear more easily. He can use his ultimate to respond to plays as well. T1, they might get themselves to, I mean, they've got this Chemtech, all that's nice. Oh, not the Soul. They get the Chemtech Dragon. 2 dragons is okay. Zeus is teleported in topside, and yeah, you can see that T1 are like all sirens blazing because they know that Zeka is on topside as well. Now, the fact that because Zeka walks over wards here, right? But the thing is, the unfortunate thing for T1 is like they see that he's just walked up river, but they don't have wards far enough to see that he's just recalling. But that's why Faker and Keria are just like absolutely sprinting it towards the top side of the map because they know that like it's so dangerous if a dive does come off. Zeka has teleport, so he can respond even if that play did come through. But yeah, so that's why Faker doesn't even stay to push mid lane. If they had slightly better vision, I mean, it's quite that's an edge case. But it would have been nice for Faker to be able to just stick in mid lane and push in that tower. Instead, he isn't able to get that second play. It would be nice to get that extra gold. But the fact that T1 have to respond to HLE power plays in the first place is a huge issue. Do you think that Riot should nerf that part of him in terms of Smolder's ult wave clear? Yes, I do. They are increasing the cooldown of it. The problem is that Smolder's core build has so much ability haste in it that it means that it is very hard to play. Wait, hang on. Does he get the ult in here? If you have Lich Bane for this first... I mean, if you have Lich Bane here, you actually kill. But you don't want to do that in this game. You need the Malignance for the wave play. That's really good dodging. It's okay. I mean, it gets a really good trade. It means that Zeka has to back. That's fine. That's actually okay. Yeah, good trade by Faker. Gets pretty much every bit of damage he can. And you can't dive into that turret anyway, so that's nice. Zeka teleports towards bot lane anyway, though, so he doesn't really lose anything but the summoner. But still, Faker kind of just like flexing the power a little bit. But this is about as powerful as you get as T1. I mean, you need Profane Hydra and Zeus, and then like you really need to start firing. Gumo with Shiv, and then also getting, you know, a second item. I mean, you can go Phantom Dancer second on Zeri. That's quite a big thing right now. Weirdly, Shiv and Phantom Dancer both give quite a lot of large amount of AD. I mean, they're going to have, you know, their second item spikes are not bad either. You really need one item on Zeus, though, but he's just been, once again, in a very awkward spot where he's had to kind of, like, play very respectfully. I know, doing a bit of a juke. But, like, because they've had to play around, because they've had to play around, I mean, Zeka had to teleport bot side. But then he just recalls and goes top side anyway, and he has the ult. So, Faker is staying bot side to try and get this bot lane out of turret. And he's just, you know, because Zeka doesn't have teleport, he has to walk up to the play. It means that HLE have more numbers right now, but T1 have a potential of a flank after getting some advantage on the side lane. Zeus does not have a flank. He's going straight down the middle of this. He's on vision right now. Oner's flying in. How the hell does he miss that hook? How does that happen? Oh my god. Oh, that's sucky. The extra damage from the hook is a lot, by the way. At max rank, it's like 200 and something damage. It's still like a decent amount on here. So Doran, like, has... Wait, I mean, Ari steals the Herald, which is kind of funny. That's kind of... Oh, he hits the eye. Or something like that. Wait, no, he doesn't even do that. Oh, he almost gets the reset. Okay, he does, just about. Okay, so Faker gets to push in a wave bot side. The fact that they don't manage to get on top of the fact that they don't manage to cleanly get on top of Doran sucks. How much damage? How much work does Guma do here? Actually, does he do anything? He's on one item. Guma should be doing more damage than Smolder in this fight. I think Guma makes a mistake here. I think Guma... Oh, wait, no, he doesn't. No. So, yeah, no, he doesn't. I forgot that... So, Zeka is down here, by the way. So, Talia's not in the fight. She's positioned for a wall. Now, Guma could have positioned forwards more aggressively, but Guma can't really jump that far into Zeka. Maybe Guma could now jump forward and then you use his ult. Maybe that's the play. But I guess everyone dies too quickly. Yeah, I guess Oner and Keria just died too quickly, and Delight's still full HP with ult. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't give a fuck. This cow is tanky as balls. So Guma doesn't really get a good angle in there. So that's not really on Guma. Yeah, because Delight could just, like, flash combo him into Zeka, so he can't really join that fight. Which sucks, because Zeri should be stronger than Viper right now. But, you know, T1 engage in front of Viper, and they don't engage onto him. They go onto Doran instead, which means that the Smolder actually gets some decent damage off, and Zeri gets next to nothing, which sucks. It really sucks for them. So T1, the The thing about this, let's go back into this one last time just to kind of finish this up. So, you know, they're starting this Herald. T1 are trying to get some advantage in a side lane, but they realize that the Herald's going down really quickly, so they teleport in early. They would have loved to just take that tower. If they can get Herald as well cleanly, then they get, you know, they can potentially get a fight. They can potentially get Herald. They can use that Herald to break up and mid lane out a turret, which then stops this little fucker from stalling for forever. So that's why they're looking for this. They don't want to give Herald for free. They don't get Zeus on a flank, though. And also, because the CC chain's not fantastic from Keria, because it kind of gets interrupted on... Well, he misses the hook onto Doran. It doesn't pull him back into Guma or whatever. It means that Zeus doesn't really get huge value here either. Because this Aatrox is... Yeah, needs to be kind of like continually doing damage to people who are CC'd in front of him, because... And he doesn't have his first item either. He doesn't have Profane Hydra. If he has Profane Hydra, he does so much work, but T1 just don't have the items here. So, I mean, HLE, I think that Zeka makes the right call to come to the play early. I think that Viper does a really good job of just kind of like standing fire. I think that Delight really punishes where Gumayushi wants to be as well. Like, he stops Gumayushi from, like getting into a position to fight. I think if Gume actually gets a good ult there and starts to rail lightning across the team, it's a very different fight. So good on Delight for stopping him at the start of the play, and Zeka with the wall to stop Gume from getting into the play, and then just they clean up. The fact that Delight doesn't even have to use ult is a big problem for T1. And we've already seen this, so we can go beyond the replay. So back onto the map. 1,000 gold lead for HLE. Feels like it is more than that though, because T1, their composition spikes so hard early. It spikes right now. When they have Profane Hydra on Aatrox, and they have like Shiv onto Gumayushi, they are much stronger than HLE in terms of composition. But HLE are very close to the point where they can get to 2 items, and then they start really hurting again. They have range advantage from Jace. They have frontline advantage from Maokai and Alistar. They have really good wave clear. They have scaling advantage in terms of damage from Smolder eventually too. So T1 they needed to playmake early, and I am just sat here thinking what would happen if they had the Kai'Sa instead of the Zeri. I think that the Kai'Sa is just so much more valuable at different points in the game. So T1 want to rush this down so they can get. They might have to just flip this and see if they can get to Infernal Soul points. But they're outranged now. This is their last point of power. So how much can they do with their last point of power? They've lost some HP already because they've been tanking Dragon and they're outranged. Delight still has ult. They don't break his support item either. They're corralled into the pit with a Maokai ult and a Talaria ult. And how many flashes have they got? Not enough. So Faker ults out of the pit. I mean, it's not a bad Nautilus ult. They get the Dragon, so they get that heist out. Guma also has ult. He could potentially fight, you know, but it's kind of hard when Delight... Well, Delight uses ult too. I wonder, could they turn... Not with Faker's ult being down, maybe. Especially not with, like, everyone kind of splitting up. I wonder if they can turn and fight in the 4v5 now Delight's ult is down, and he doesn't have flash. They go towards mid lane with a Herald. Yeah, I wonder whether they just need to try it. They should have tried to look for a fight with the Zeri right now. He had flash. I wonder if Guma can just outplay. I feel like they had to use this spike. Because though it's not Zeri, it can, you know, 100%, oh my god, it's Zeri moment. This doesn't get better against the Smolder. So I feel like T1 maybe don't understand how badly these fights are going to go later. I mean, maybe they just think it's going to be a losing fight anyway, but I feel like they have to try, because this doesn't get that much easier for them. They do get this Infernal Soul points. Maybe they'd rather do that. If they do it at the next dragon, though, there are so many more items for HLE, which cause them problems, though. They're lucky to get this dragon. Especially for just 1 kill. They get the Herald in mid lane while this is happening, too. So at least they get some damage on the mid lane out of turret. 182 stacks from Viper. That's really good stacking, actually. That's really good stacking. Oh, Amibob, by the way. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. No, I missed that a couple of minutes ago. Okay, 183 stacks. Yeah, he's gonna... Yeah, he's in a really good spot. He's in a really good spot. Fake has 2 items. I mean, once you get Navori... I mean, it's Navori on Guma. So, yeah, he's not going for... Phantom Dancer, which I think is a really good 2-item spike for just raw damage. Because it gives you like 40 AD or something when you've stacked up. It's really, really nice. Just because Zeri, once she gets a certain amount of attack speed, starts gaining like extra damage on her Q, which is equivalent to 40 AD. Hang on. I have, yep, okay, so let's have a look. Let's have a look at this. So, Doran's in bot side. Jungle support, bot side jungle. So, mid lane. So, Viper's going to ult mid lane. Doesn't save the turret. So, that's important. So, tier 1 with the Herald, with the damage taken from there, can go towards mid lane. Now, the thing is, once again, just look at all of these wards littering T1's jungle. Because T1 have been quite snatch and grab around, like, the Herald and the Dragon, they've not really managed to settle down and get vision control done. Whereas HLE actually have managed to get some wards into important places. So T1 are trying to take some big structures across the map to open things up. Zeka comes back. Yeah, I mean, so when you Talia ult at Ahri, it's pretty much a guaranteed chum. I know Chovy showed a pretty cool one against Faker the other day. Couple, actually. But yeah, that's a pretty common one. How many items has Jace got? Jace, does he go back and buy a second item for this fight? I think he does, actually. Yeah, he just gets a Manamune. It's not going to be upgraded. Okay, so tier 2 Talia ult goes towards here. Charm's down. There's nothing. I mean, you can kick Jace out of some of his damage, but not actually stop the this guy's itself. So one of the big things with Ahri versus Jace, you want to charm him out of his hammer Q, which is a huge amount of damage. You can't do that because you just used it onto Zeka to stop the wall. And Zeri is good at roaming to place because she can hop over walls. You can see that Gume, if he wasn't Zeri, he wouldn't be able to hop over this wall safely, so we can do that. He doesn't have his E right now to... I mean, Zeri would have loved to be able to hop over this wall and get into the fight, but obviously Peanut is guarding like this kind of range around him. You can't really get to that. Gume doesn't have Ghost either, which sucks. There's no tower here. Maokai ult's good. That's a good Maokai ult. Uses the hook to get to the tower. Really good shock blast. Oof. Bramble smash to death. Teleport in from it. Wait. Why were you waiting that long to teleport? Where are good teleport wards? There's one here. This is a good teleport ward now, because Sarah's just put that down. I think as soon as you see this teleport ward here, you need to teleport 1, 2. You need to teleport now, as soon as the Maokai ult is past here. So let's try and time it. How much longer does it take? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now he teleports. I feel like you had to teleport like 5-6 seconds before. And if you do that, because you have the Profane Hydra, and this is the power spike for the Aatrox, maybe you can get onto some of the carries which are going to threaten with the dive. But by the time the teleport is completed, 2 people are dead. Faker's gone, Keria's gone. That's a late teleport from Zeus. Teleports are often a team call. This ward was a really good one. I think that could have used it. You could have used that, especially with the teleport move speed with World Ender as well, to get into a good damaging position. Really good play from HLE. I think Peanut just being there at the right time again. But honestly, the most important thing about this play is that HLE had really good ward setup yet again. They are a very, very talented vision control team. It makes it very hard to make plays against them because they expect where you're coming, and then they do this as Baron spawns. Now, Oner can potentially come in for a steal because he's easily sin, but he's on vision again, so that's going to be harder. They look to turn for the fight. I think they just peel off now. Oh no, Gume gets stunned because he just goes into the edge of the E. He does manage to hit the ult, which is big. So Gume can clean up a bit. How much can you do though? Delight's ult is doing a lot of work. You have Flash, Gume. You have Flash. This is like your one chance to influence the game. This is the last fight before Smolder becomes a better version of Zeri. He's just hypermobile, hyperscaling. And just really annoying to get rid of. Yeah, you can't get hit like that. Even with the extra moves and speed from Ghosts, and it's a really good combo from Zeka, actually, because even though Gume has Ghost and the Lightning Crash move speed running, like, he still gets hit. Yeah, that's a mess. The thing is, if you he doesn't want to flash forwards into Doran. I mean, I think maybe you can. I think maybe you can flash forward here and get like an auto because you have passive charged. I actually think you can flash forward here and kill Doran with an auto reset. And then Zeus can maybe clean up one more. It's dangerous, but I think that you're beyond like doing safe plays now. That is such a hero shove from Zeka. But also, like, this is the one fight where Zeri has to pop off, and it's mis-executed by Guma as well. Like, he gets him he stuns himself on the minefield because he misjudges that. And then he has he gets hit by a shove as well. So this is it's partly on Zeka, fantastic placing of the combo. Partly on Guma, I really don't like how he got got stunned by a lot of stuff. He didn't get the ult on him. That sucks. Oh, good good cancel on the Q. Nice, cool. So that's 2. That's actually a really important shutdown. But like, imagine if Guma just flashes forwards and gets some extra damage down. Tier 1 might have actually been able to walk away with a huge amount of work there. Faker is what the hell? Is he going for Rylai's next? Wait, is he going for the Malignance Rylai's build? So you can slow people down? I don't know if I like that. It gives you some tankiness, but just go for Zhonya's, I feel. If you want to actually be tanky, just go Zhonya's. Or like, hard to kill. Zeka really smurf game 3. This is really good, yeah, for sure. T1 looked really off their game. They do. I think that part of it's through draft. I think that I don't like this Zeri. Again, I think something like a Kai'Sa or even like a Twitch to be an assassin or something like that can work really well. I don't like this Zeri. And right, in most of this game, I do think that HLE have played very well. And I think part of the reason why T1 look off their game is because HLE have denied them the vision that they normally have to make really important plays. So, it's a bit of one, a bit of the other. It can be both. It can be both. Okay, right. No. Also, you can just... So the problem here... By the way, this is the wrong way to approach a Maokai, by the way. Because if you dash in, you're likely to get the charm. But if he W's, so Maokai, when he W's you, often ends up slightly behind you. So if he W's, well, as you're casting charm, the charm's just going to fly this way and it's not going to do anything. So you dash forward here. Now... Peanut actually dodges it instead of pressing W, which is kind of Chad. But that's bad. That's really bad. Because again, Guma has flash. There's every and yeah, this should be the you're at 2 items. You should be popping a Zeri now. That's really bad miss from Faker. You can just do it out of the brush. I mean, if you want to guarantee it, just charm flash instead. I think make it really hard to react to, rather than just giving the dash as the extended time. Yeah, that sucks. And I think that Fake is a great Ahri. I don't think this has been great in terms of charm placement this game, though, this series. Okay, get one thing there. So you don't get yourself Infernal Soul. If you killed the jungler there, that's Infernal Soul, and maybe you can last out the game a little longer. Infernal Soul changes the equation a bit, because that means that potentially Zeus can get, like, big, big combos and stuff. And, like, he actually has much more damage that way. Okay, hook misses. See how desperate T1 are looking for the big picks, and they're just saying, okay, you've just used a load of ultimates to dissuade us from fighting the dragon, but now you're playing into the upgrade from Smolder. He has his ult still. They missed the hook again because they actually spot the turn coming. Smolder ult's down and Baron stops, so they can just back off now. So actually, once again, very disciplined from them. We'll speed it up now. Now the problem is that T1 need to reset. So HLE, they reset. T1 try and punish that with the Baron. Okay, what's happening here? So he tries to kill the damn minion. Tower falls. Charm only lands onto the light, you can cleanse that. And yeah, Faker doesn't get an important target with the charm. Yeah, if you get Zeka... I mean, obviously it's hard to get it at that point, but if you hit Zeka, that's huge. Doran's still probably going to die anyway. Another huge shove. Are you kidding me? Once again, like, Guma with Flash and Ghost, like, available, gets hit by another, like, just standing skill shot with no setup. Guma's had a pretty poor game 3. This hasn't been a great game 3 from Guma. Like, you shouldn't... I think that Zeka has been hitting great combos. You shouldn't be hitting free combos like this. You shouldn't be. As a Faker fan, that random R out of the brush giving away his position first, maybe so. Yeah, it's... Yeah, that wasn't the best way to play that scenario, for sure. I think Charm Flash, or just Charm out of the brush from out of vision is a big thing. So there's no Smite, there's no chance for Smite Steal here, really. Can they look for a fight? And Guma doesn't have ult. It's really... Zeri is such an ult-reliant champion. Such an ult-reliant champion. They're trying to use the HP advantages. Guma just use Ghosts for this too. And again, every time you lose this fight, it gets closer towards just late game devastation from Smolder. I mean, even Talia is going to outscale, right? Talia is doing mad damage at this point. Faker has gone towards Rylai's. So when you ult in, the Malignant starts to proc the Rylai, so you get like AoE slows, which can be quite powerful. I've seen some people try it. I've seen people go like Malignants, Rylai's just in general. And it gives you some HP. I mean, maybe in this game it's because you're trying to like slow people so they can't kite out the Zeri. Or the Aatrox. I don't... Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's the plan and you're just trying to say, well, this is everything for Zeri. But you lose a lot of personal damage for it. Because, you know, Rylai's isn't the best damage item. Viper's got 266 stacks. That's fun. And now you're just waiting for this Baron play to just, like, roll T1 into bed, really. Now, there is a chance that that HLE, like, over-push, over-vision, which means that there's a teleport which can catch them. But HLE have very good vision controlling. Very good vision control team. And T1 haven't managed to get too many of those unexpected wards into important places. Shaman to Delight. It's onto an Alistar, man. It's onto an Alistar. That ain't it. And I know that it's good to throw out ults anyway, because Ahri has such low ult cooldown on the current patch where you may as well go for it. No, yeah, that's like 2 pick tools onto Delight onto... If you manage to catch Viper here, that's different. But he catches Delight accidentally and he's like, yup, nope, nope. You tired of Smolder watching Smolder win the LPL? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I would be lying if I said I wanted to see another stall out game. And again, the vision control and like so Zekka's in position for a wall, but also he can battle ward out Zeus too. Zeus just, there is no angle for Zeus here. The Aatrox needs to flank, but HLE are so good at vision control, and they've been so dominant. Oh, it's a good shove as well. Yeah, that's just insult to injury. That should be game. Damn, T1, they just didn't snowball this game. That is a heck of a victory for HLE. Very organized team. You know, I think that Viper's been really good at, you know, just putting out good damage in the situations he's been. I haven't really talked about Viper in a lot of this series. I mean, he's just been really good in a lot of his laning phase moments, and then he's been really good at just staying safe and making T1 work to try and reach him. And in this game as well, it was a really good game to just kind of keep putting out damage. Just can never be taken away. Try and stop the teleport, because Jace was there to try and catch out Zeus. But now you don't have Ariel, so that kind of sucks for you. I think more teams need to try Jinx into him. Yeah, I agree. I think Jinx is pretty good at... I think Jinx actually does scale up in a way that Smolder can play towards too. Plus, Jinx has the easy win condition of a reset. I think a lot of teams which have been struggling can play towards resets. Delight tanks another hook. It doesn't matter if Delight takes a hook. He still has ult. He doesn't care. Again, Delight is just holding on to everything he needs to. Oh, Viper, dude. You gotta be so careful there. Oh my god. Doesn't even need to blow the flash, but Jesus. Okay, that's one ult. I mean, Delight gets to ult and just be frontline. So Faker gets 1 kill, but... I mean, you haven't touched the carries, and you've run out of damage now. What happens to Guma? What the fuck? So Guma jumps over the wall. And he just gets flash pulled. He goes into flash pull range. Guma does not have a single good team fight on this area. He has no good team fights on this area this game. And that sucks. Because you need to really be good at Zeri to justify picking it into the Smolder. And, you know, there are a lot of individual errors where he has flash up and he gets caught by a Talia combo where he just straight up dies. And I know that a lot of the time the instinct on Zeri is to, like, E instead of flash, and you can't do that against the Talia because the anti-dash. Faker gets 1 kill. It's not enough, really. They lose another dragon as well. Yeah. Yeah, so basically, I think Doran is trying to teleport to cut off Zeus as he flanks at the end of that play too. But I mean, Delight has been so good at just like holding onto his ult for as long as possible. He's been very disciplined with how he uses Zeri. He doesn't do a snap combo. He waits until he sees the Zeri. If you misuse your Alistar combo, then Zeri gets to free fight. He doesn't get to. And sadly, just Guma just has a really bad fight again. And even though he's 3 items now, it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Like, Viper has a stopwatch too. He is so he's so much stronger just because of the stacks as well. T1 just snatching and grabbing at plays. They don't get themselves into like they might have a ward to flank TP on Aatrox with 3 items, maybe. I think Zeka just used some eye drops there, by the way. Hang on, watch this, watch this. Zeka's putting some eye drops in mid game. Yeah, he's just clicking out of base, so he's already moving. He just uses some eye drops. Damn. 318 stacks. Should have gone for a counter pick like Draven, a comfort pick like Draven. Draven was banned. Pretty sure Draven was banned. Caitlyn, was it Caitlyn as well? Was it Caitlyn or Draven that were banned? Might have been them. Oh no, that was in the other game. No, it was Caitlyn was banned. Okay, so T1 Hail Mary Baron. But again, they don't have the damage at this point. They don't have Baron damage, and there are so many long range ultimates that can answer from HLE that it's very hard for T1 to get away from the active damage and split the fight that they want in the way that they want to. So Guma still has flash. He's not really been able to use that effect. The combo from Delight is down. He gets himself a decent. I mean, the thing is that Delight is just ulting in his face. Like, and Delight, you know, Guma doesn't have true damage here. You can't cut through the Alistar. Zeus is punted back by Peanut, so he can't get a flank angle. He just runs straight into the Maokai and he just does nothing. Viper blows his stopwatch because that's exactly what he bought it from. Gets himself... flashes onto him, but Faker isn't there for the follow-up either. Guma gets ulted on by 3 people. Yeah. And he dashes through the minefield as well, which kills himself. Sucks. Faker uses all of his ult stacks. Yeah. Teleport back to the base. I don't think it's enough though, is it? I think Zeka just stands and fights. He's very high HP. Faker's killed as well. Damn. There we go. HLE 2-1. The big takeaway for me, the really big takeaway is that T1 were off their game in terms of laning phase. I think that a lot of the picks which they have blind picked before. A lot of the Lucian Namis, I think the Aatrox as well, just didn't work out the way that they wanted to. One, because they were either kind of like picked apart in laning phase, or because they were kind of like denied vision control. And I think part of the vision control being lost was because of laning phase 2. HLE very, very good at locking T1 out of playmaking opportunities. That was a good series from them. I think T1 were off the boil, but also I think HLE played well. So it's not just like this isn't a true representation of things. I think T1 are going to have to revisit what they're blind picking. I think they're going to have to revisit how they coordinate their first paths of the game as well from jungle, because I don't think they were very good today. And yeah, I think there's a lot from them to take away from this. HLE though, damn, great game. I think that Peanut and Delight had a fantastic series, and so did Zeka in the last game. I don't think he was great in some of the others, but like particularly Peanut and Delight had a really good series. Okay, folks, I'm gonna send you guys over to